Hello, and welcome to Jason Cabinet Experience. Before we get started, a quick update on what I'm in building. Through Cabinets, I'm leading U.S. market expansion for Tech Bank, helping startups, enterprises, and organizations build and scale software with global engineering and U.S. execution. I'm also working with Earth VC, supporting deep tech founders building in areas like AI, energy, robotics, and manufacturing. And right now, we're focused on AI infrastructure, data centers, and small modular reactors. And on June 8th, I'm hosting a Jason Cabinets Experience Deep Tech Demo Day as part of Seattle Deep Tech Week here in Seattle. Everything I'm doing connects back to the same mission, building ecosystems and connecting people. Our guest today is Eden Marryshow. Eden, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Jason. It's a pleasure, man.
And so, me and Eden have a lot to get through. I met him 2 days ago, great dude. But first, this will probably be the most serious question I asked you during this whole time, right?
All right, here you go.
How in the fuck do you let bears break into your car?
That's awesome.
What is up with that, dude?
I live in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and I moved there a couple years ago, and it's wild, man, because it's almost like the bears out there have opposable thumbs. Because maybe it was like a year and a half ago, or like a year and a half ago. My wife came outside. I forgot my dad. I took his garbage, like it was like a big garbage bag that I was supposed to take to the dump. I forgot it. My wife calls me on the phone. I go outside the next morning. There's nothing but just garbage all over the front, over the lawn, and we look in the car. There's a huge slit in the seat because a bear decided to open the door, go inside. He was a gentle bear because it was only one slit, and he was kind enough to drag the bag out of the car and then open it. And then we locked the door, but then we heard from people in the community, and we also thought about it. It was like, if the door's locked, the bear could do all kinds of stuff to your car. But the key is don't leave food in the car, and the bear won't open the door. My great friend, Pia Hargrove, just got her PhD at NYU. We were coming home. It was a couple-hour drive. We were picking up treats. As we get out of the car, I forgot to take the beef jerky out of the car, Jason. And a couple of other things that we packed along the way. And then the night before I came out here, I heard some stuff going on outside. I went outside. I heard the bears. It sounded like there was multiple bears. All the doors on the cars were open. All of them.
Like, how does that happen, right? I mean,
I have video, actually. My wife took video of the bear. It was actually, we have big bears and also cubs. And we have last year, a cub opened the door. And then we were able to, she had footage of him literally opening.
and we all like, if these bears can open the car doors, they can unlock the house doors.
They can unlock a house door, definitely. So yeah, they're super smart. But then, yeah, the other day, I was like, I'm not going outside. I'll just wake up the next morning. I'm not going to deal with it. I don't care if it's a cub. If there's a cub, there's a mama. So
That's dangerous.
super dangerous, bro.
So you live in the Poconos?
I live in the Poconos.
Is that like the Pennsylvania version of Appalachian Mountains?
Is it? I don't know. It actually, growing up, it was a place that there was this place called Mount Airy Lodge that like couples would go to, and my parents would take me there. It had a really cool jingle. Yeah, so it's a place where I think a lot of New Yorkers and folks from Jersey would go and go for vacations and.
Because you actually grew up in Brooklyn, right?
I grew up in Brooklyn.
So how does one go from Brooklyn, quote unquote, with all that involved, to the Poconos?
He goes kicking and screaming. No, my mom had my parents had owned a house out there. During the pandemic, it was falling apart, and probably a few years before that, because they just weren't going out as much. So I talked to my dad. I was like, "Hey, we should just renovate it, Airbnb it," and then my mom literally passed away on the morning that my dad was going to tell her that we were going to renovate the place. So we just decided to move forward with it, and then my dad, after we did the renovations, I was ready to go back home to Brooklyn, and he said, "Eden, are you a fucking asshole?" And I was like, "What?" And he was just like, "Why don't you guys just stay here? It's beautiful out here. Your friends could come. You could just chill. You could decompress.
How far is it from Brooklyn?
Uh, if it was 20 years ago, it'd be 2 hours. Now it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes, 3 hours and 30 minutes because of the crazy traffic. But yeah, so my dad, I think my wife all along kind of was like, it'd be cool to stay out here. And then my dad was like, yeah, don't be an asshole. He was right.
So, is creator and creative the same thing, or those different sides of the same coin? Creator and creative.
I don't know. Maybe they're two sides of the same coin. It's funny because I think only until recently I've heard like creator. Feel like when I usually hear creative, it feels like it's like part of like an ad agency or something.
Yeah,
like
you're
that.
right. Yeah, yeah.
But no, I think it's just used a lot now. So yeah, it's a term I think I've just really been like, oh yeah, that is, I'm a creator. I make things.
So, what makes someone a creator? Can like Tom Brown say, "Hey, I've never created my life, but I'm a creator now." Like, what gives someone the right to say I'm a creator, creative? Does someone give them that title, or how does that work?
Yeah, I think you. Yeah, I think you give yourself the title. Yeah, I think anybody who's brave enough or is vulnerable enough. I guess they're kind of one and the same thing to me a lot, brave and vulnerability. But yeah, anybody who dares to make something and show it to other people, I think you could be labeled a creator,
So,
creative.
how about creator and builder? Are those interchangeable? If you create something, you build something. If you build something, you create something. Are those two different definitions?
I don't think. I mean, I guess it's probably the discipline, right? Like I feel. I was talking to my friend Reef about this today, but like when you're building code or making code or building something, in the kind of computer tech world, most people would, I think, would say that would be building something, but I'm like, you're creating
Yeah.
something. Something's being created. Something's being birthed into the world. So I think they're interchangeable.
So, being a creative, is that something like for like day one, like you're 2 years old, 3 years old, like man, you have that innate creative, or like you just wake up one day like in high school, oh shit, I like to draw, I like to paint, I like to create stuff. It's like, how's that process
Interesting.
work?
I think everybody knows who they are from 0 to 6 years old, and you spend the rest of your life trying to get back to it. So that's kind of my philosophy. I think so many of like my nieces or nephews or younger people, you know, I would look at them when they're 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, and I'm like, I know what you want to do. Okay, you're gonna do this other thing, and you're gonna do that. I know what you're gonna come back to because I remember. I remember what you were. You know, I remember my I ran into my cousin last year. He came to a screening of my film, and he was telling me a story about how I would be in the corner by myself, like when I was like 2, 3, 4 years old, and then my mother would tell people just let Eden just do what he's doing, because I would just be, I would just be creating these worlds in my head, and then my dad would come home because he was an educator with those old marble notebooks, and then he would be the one to say, Eden, you have to write this stuff down.
Mm.
So I was, it was fostered in me, but it was there. So I think that's most people. I think if you go back and you have supportive parents, which some of us don't, you can track it back to that.
I have a nephew, like at 5 years old, we all know, okay, you're gonna do something engineering, right?
Yeah.
Now he's 12, 13, he builds like cars and models, all this kind of crazy stuff,
Yeah. But and the messed up thing is, like sometimes it's just, life gets in the way, or parents or a teacher or whoever it is can
Or
get.
school gets in the way, right?
Yeah, and it's just like, no, this is stupid. What you're trying to do is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get a real job. And then that poor person has to work
Yeah.
for 10, 20, 30 years to get back to what they're supposed to, where your nephew, it seems like he's supported,
Yeah.
and he'll do the thing because there's a lot less friction.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's blessed. Like some people like Kobe Bryant, like Michael Jackson, they knew from the beginning what they want to do, right?
Mm.
But a lot of kids like, hey, the school fucks them up, like
100%.
yeah, I think most schools are like across the United States is like they focus on the top 10% and the bottom 10%. The middle ones, like, yeah, they're like sucking the wind, so to speak, right?
Yeah, I think growing up in Brooklyn when I did, where it's kind of like crack and AIDS hit at the same time. I was talking about this with some friends this weekend. Um, and then being in the school system, and also really not being, in retrospect, being not that far segregation or yeah, there were some teachers there that really were trying to break us, um, and it wasn't helpful. But I mean, thank God I had the mom and father that I did.
I always thought it was kind of crazy, like, like certain people, like, they're like, oh, I suffer so much.
Yeah.
I made it, but now I have to make them suffer too, right? Like,
like hurt people,
yeah,
kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Like,
man.
I had to do this stuff to get a job, and now I make everyone else do the same thing.
It's just, yeah. But I think, that's what happens when, like, love is out of the equation. And, like, people, I've been blessed enough to been on the receiving end of a lot of love in my life. So I don't look at the world like that. You don't look at the world like that. But, like, I think it's hard when somebody is abused repeatedly with the absence of light, and then they don't realize they become the thing that they have been railing against.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about the movie you just did. So we just did a live showing of the premiere of the movie.
Yes. What would you like to talk about?
First question, right? I'm gonna geek out, right? So there's one scene, the opening scene, right? Is the house, right?
Yeah.
And you can see the shadows of the trees on there, right?
Yes.
Was that intentional?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said that had to be intentional because the shadows of the tree was so like
prominent.
So prominent. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very much about connecting to your ancestors, people who've passed away, and it's like all the ways. I think the film is a lot about the characters in the piece learning that new language. Like, I feel like when my mom passed away, it's very much about me. Like, no, she's still here. I just have to learn her language, her new language now.
So when you cast for a movie, because this is not this is not the first movie you've done, right?
No.
So when you cast for roles in movies, right? I'm sure you have auditions, right? How do you in your mind you like, okay, this person, he auditioned for like this role, but based on his audition, I think he'd be a better role for this role because it's based on characters and all that kind of stuff, Because I do Barry, fucking perfect role. Like, that dude Barry paid that role probably too good. Probably gonna see Barry in the fucking street. They're gonna fucking try to kick his ass.
It's funny. So originally, the person that was supposed to play Barry was the brother. So Jeff, his brother, was supposed to play Barry, and I was supposed to play Jeff. But what happened was my friend Sangu, super great actor and amazing writer as well, he couldn't do it. So I slid into that part, and then I switched the roles, and then I asked my friend Devin. The last time I was like, oh shoot, Devin can do it. And then with the auditions, for this film, like, there were no auditions because it was going to be such a quick shoot, such an intimate shoot. I was like, I need my tribe. I need people that I trust and that are talented, of course, ridiculously talented, but also just solid people to where I understood how they worked and they understood how I worked.
Is it easy or hard to direct yourself?
It is harder when you bring your ego into it. So for me, I try to put a lot of fail safes in. Like, again, it's about surround yourself with people that you trust their taste. Even if it's a person even if it's it's a smaller shoot, but even if it's like a PA who, like, people don't respect. It's like, no, dog. Everybody can have a voice. And so for me, it's important that I surround myself with people that would be like, that's a little rough, Eden. My DP, Juan Carlos Barrero, who's a superstar and a champion. My wife, the actors that I'm there with. And then a lot of times it's just such a, kind of just like the way we move is
collaboration, give and take.
Yeah, like guerrilla.
No ego.
Yeah, it's like a guerrilla.
Everything comes from a place of love. Like I said in my speech, it's good criticism versus bad criticism.
That's exactly it. That resonated with me. So I know everybody's there, like you said, leading with love. Nobody's trying to hurt my feelings. Now my feelings might get hurt.
Yeah.
Right, but then it's on me.
Cause no one wants to hear that their baby is ugly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially put like a few hours working or something, right?
Exactly.
And like, Eden, this is the trash. Like, dude, like,
yeah. But it's like how you, and it's who you trust.
Yeah, and how you say it
with
too.
the baby, yeah, how you say it.
Like I used to have people telling the people on me, like, you criticize me, like you say what I'm trying to do is dumb, but don't call me dumb, right?
And then sometimes it's on you, right? Because they are commenting on the thing. They're not commenting on you. It's like, oh yeah, that take was rough, or you blinked a lot, or I don't know what you were doing. They're not saying you're a bad person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this just isn't good, and that's okay. And it's a lot easier for me to kind of take my ego out of it when I realize like the people are coming to watch this thing.
Yeah.
And you owe it to them. You know, like you really owe it to them to do that. And then the other thing is that I am ridiculously prepared. So I have a book that's about 500 pages, which is notes, and I'll be up till 2:00 in the morning working on a scene so that the next day when I'm in the scene and I'm in it and I'm acting, that if my brain is just going to mush because there's too many things that too many answers I have to come up with, I can look at the book and I say, oh, this is what director Eden was thinking last night. Like, just do that. So the work has been done.
So I know your budget was limited, right? Mm-hmm. But if you could have done this, it'd be so great, right? Yeah. So you know how the guy who played Sean, like he plays Zach and Fatima?
Yes.
It was so dope in the movie. You know how like in the Marvel movies, the credits had a feature thing. If like in the movie you had Fatima, like, motherfucker, you got a whole fucking second family. Like, Zach, you got a whole fucking second family over, and what the fuck you doing, right? That would have been so hilarious, right?
Yeah, we didn't have the budget.
Yeah, what the like, yeah. Can you imagine like the credits roll and then fucking team just roll up?
Yeah,
this motherfucker, a whole fucking second family,
yeah.
You know? That would be fucking so dope, yeah. So how does like, what's your background on film? Like, you went to film school, or?
I did go to film school.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Brooklyn College.
Okay.
For film school, and then once I got the film credits I needed, I kind of ditched it. Mm-hmm. I actually got into it with a professor because I felt like this person was mistreating one of my classmates, and I didn't feel like she was gonna defend herself. So I was like, nah. Like, we're supposed to shoot her film. We all agreed to shoot her film. He was like, no, that's not what we're doing now. And I was like 19, and now I still look back on it decades later. I'm like, yeah, you did the right thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got kicked out of the class or whatever, but it didn't continue.
Do you still keep in touch with this young lady?
Oh, my homegirl, it's been some years, but we definitely, she like travels the world.
Okay.
So, yeah, she's an awesome person. So yeah, man. So I did go to film school at Brooklyn College. I learned a lot because we didn't have a lot. Like Brooklyn College, the education was always amazing. The equipment wasn't always. And so now it's like even a bigger film school. But when I went, it was literally like we had these things called. So we had like I learned on a Bolex. I learned with actual film. And we'd have like these Bolexes and these Aeroflex cameras. And you would have to rent them out, right? And but then like the second level of camera was this thing called, I think it was called the K3, and it was a Russian camera. It was like a knockoff. And it literally was just like fucking plastic and rubber bands, bro. So I just remember us, being in complete darkness because you have to load the film and unload the film. And then when things would break, you literally are there trying to fix the cameras. And I think the tactileness of that and the understanding that you really don't have the resources really is if my kid was going to get a film education, that's how I would want it to be.
I mean, it's like startups, right? A lot of startups, to get all the money, those are the ones who fail.
Yeah.
The ones who have to kind of bootstrap,
Yeah.
Like pinch pennies, they're the ones that always make it most of the time.
100%. It's like, yo, you got to figure it out. And it's the funny thing about creativity, I think sometimes, is it's always like, oh, I need more money. Sometimes it's about those guardrails at the bowling alley, that you put up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, if you have these these kind of restrictions, sometimes oftentimes it fosters creativity because you got to figure shit out and you don't have as many options.
Making something for TV and making an actual movie, two different genres, two different ways of doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
Is it?
I mean, I think I've been saying this for some years now. I do think that the next wave, well, I guess it's happening now, will be independent television. So in that way, then it would be similar, I think, to it would almost be just like making a super long movie. But the way a TV set runs is similar and different. You know, I mean, I've had the blessing to work on big budget TV shows. But I'm making films for no money, so in that way, it's completely different.
Remember this startup was a few years ago. I think it was called Tubi or Booby. It's a one. The whole process was like they were making all these 10-minute movies, right? Like Anna Kendrick was in it.
They raised, it was called.
They raised like $500 million, and they failed within 3 or 4 months.
And the crazy thing is, I feel like now all that stuff's coming back.
Yeah,
like they were almost like a little bit ahead of.
Too early, right?
Yeah, a little bit too early. I forgot what it was called.
They raised $500 million and failed in 3 months. Like, man, I'm not big stars. Anna Kendrick, she's a pretty decent star. I mean,
yeah, she's a great actor too.
Yeah,
man. Like a great actor.
Yeah. So, what are your go-to movies? Like, suppose this movie comes on, and no matter how many times you watched it, no matter what you're doing, like, I'm watching this movie again.
Rocky.
Okay.
E.T. Those are like two of my favorite movies. The Godfather. Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. Any 80s, early 90s Eddie Murphy. I feel like Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Trading Places.
People forget how good Trading Places was.
Come on, man. This is a perfect movie. The Last Dragon, which we were talking about earlier. Crush Groove. It's just
so you got a whole genre, a whole list.
Yeah, just a whole, just a bunch of movies I grew up with.
Man, how do you get your work done? Because these movies come on TV all the time.
Yeah. Die Hard is also a big one. So many. I love Man on Fire with Denzel Washington was like
okay.
It's a perfect movie to me.
So mine,
Tony Scott stuff.
So mine is Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, I gotta put Star Wars in there.
Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, Tombstone.
Tombstone.
And then you don't laugh at this. And then any Minions movie.
Any what movie?
Minions movie.
Yeah, my wife loves.
I love the Minions. I love the Minions, and my wife fucking hates it. I love that shit. I don't know why. I just love the Minions. It gives me so much peace and happiness and joy.
That's
them,
awesome.
Them little yellow motherfuckers walking around and doing stupid shit.
That's awesome. So, why Revenge of the Sith?
Just like the whole storyline comes together. You see you see how these like Anakin had all the goodness in his heart. He had every intention to do good, but people did this, people did that. Like even back in the second movie where his mother died, he killed all those little people.
Oh, remember that? Yeah.
And he told Padme told no one all these little
Yeah. And he was.
And then like Mace Windu talking about I don't trust him with Palpatine, but yet you want him to spy on Palpatine. All these little like one by one doesn't matter, but they just all combine together and
And you also see how he was kind of like abused, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which
he was basically slave all his life, slave to the Tatooine, and slave to the Jedi, slave to Palpatine.
Exactly, and it's just like you see again, hurt people.
Yeah,
right. It's funny because I've seen episode 4, 5, and 6, right? Like A New Hope and all that. And one day I was like, listen to my wife. It was early in our relationship, and I was like, our father had recently passed, and I was like, it'd been like a year. I guess that's definitely recent. And I was like, we gotta watch them. She's like, fine. So we watch them, and then we get to Return of the Jedi, and it comes to the end. And she's like, it was good. It was good. It was cool. It was a good movie. And then, the fire scene happens. It's like. And then the ancestors show up. And then when Anakin showed up, she fucking cried for an hour and 15 minutes, bro. She just could not stop
Yeah,
crying, man.
you got it like that,
Gotta,
man.
gotta. Because again, like, yeah, that story is about, you know,
The total circle, redemption.
exactly, like the father, the son can redeem the
Yeah,
father.
like no matter what you've done in life,
Yeah,
you can be forgiven.
you can be
Back to the
forgiven.
Jesus times. Like everyone's. No matter what you've done, no matter how people, what you've done in life, something,
Yeah.
you're still redeemable.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, it's that father son thing that he didn't give up.
Like
He
I
didn't
know
give
that.
up on his dad.
Yeah, I know that's good in you.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Yeah,
and how we all kind of need that. And they also said that paralleled like Lucas's relationship with his own dad,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, that was what like when I think about like my favorite film moments in my life of just somebody being affected by something.
Yeah. You know the movie they need to make?
What?
There's a book called it covers right after Darth Vader becomes Darth Vader. His first 5 years, Dark Lord Rising,
Oh, okay.
pure evil, pure hate. Yeah. They need to book. They need to do that movie right.
They need to put that out in the world.
Yeah, because cause everyone wants to see Darth Vader like that Rogue One scene, right? But you only get like snippets of it, right?
Yeah.
But like Darth Vader being full Darth Vader, right?
Soon,
Yeah, but it'd probably be too dark though.
super dark.
And plus it could go like how I was like all depressed all the time. He still tried to talk to
Yeah.
Padme, fucking the Emperor like fucking with him all the time,
Yeah, man. That would be rough.
Yeah, I think if they could do it like they did Rogue with a Rogue One scene,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be good.
Rogue One was good, man.
Oh yeah,
And it was wild because like it sounds crazy, but like half or 3/4 of the way through, I was like, oh, they're all gonna
yeah.
they're not gonna make it.
No, none of them.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, all of them.
And it was like I realized it, and that was the first.
You're like ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, but
like,
that was
there's no happy ending
yeah,
here.
but that was the first movie though, because
Yep.
there was a world that was created for.
Yeah, that came out. You ever watched the Clone Wars animated series?
Yes,
Yeah,
I did. That's like mid-2000s,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
because that led to all the darkness in Anakin. Like that one time he force choked. The first time he force choked someone.
yeah. So that was a weird experience where you're like, yo, where this is.
Yeah, there's no, Anakin's gonna become Darth Vader.
Yeah, because it's like you don't read the book. Like usually, if you read a book,
Mhm.
you're prepared for it in a different
Yeah.
way. But this was like characters that you don't know,
Yep.
but you know what's gonna happen to them.
Yeah.
Which was
You want to hear something crazy?
what's up?
So in the Rogue One, when the planet's blown up, right,
Mm-hmm. and
before Vader's ship goes,
Yeah.
I almost got up and walked out.
Really?
Yeah, I thought the movie was done. I don't want to. I had to go to the bathroom, so. But then I seen a bunch of people get up too because I thought the same thing. So I sat back down. I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I remember. Where did I see that? I think Kips Bay in the city. Yeah, but yeah, and these are all great like hero story,
Yeah.
hero's journey kind of, Joseph Campbell.
And that's basically one of the main stories for movie from the beginning of time, right? The hero story.
Yeah, the hero's journey.
I mean, even the Bible, whether you believe the Bible's true or not, or you believe in God or not, the Bible has a bunch of hero stories in it.
100%.
Like David and, Solomon and,
Yeah, and Joseph Campbell, is a professor at Columbia. He wrote a book, Hero of a Thousand Faces, and he studied all of these different myths and all these different cultures, and was like, oh, they're pretty similar. I was like, oh yeah, this is a monomyth. This is a thing that there's something in the human spirit that says we need to tell this story.
And some of the human spirit too. Like we need to be entertained. We need to be creative. Like we just can't like go to work 9 to 5 and be bored. We need something to entertain us. We need like some kind of creative output, if you want to call it.
Yeah, and I also think that it helps us. We learn through stories. Different, other animals aren't like that. Where it's, that's how we've evolved. Like we aren't where we are right now if not for stories.
I mean, regardless how long you think we've been here, like some people think we've been here like millions of years, others think 10,000, but like the first human who took some chalk and drew animals on a cave wall, right?
Crazy.
The first story, right? They were trying to communicate something to someone, right?
They were trying to communicate something to someone.
Like go this way for if you want to eat some bison meat, go this way, or there's tigers over here,
Yeah. it's it's fundamental to who we are. So, um, my mom would always end off every conversation saying, "And that's the story."
Mm.
And so, I think that's one of the reasons why I love stories so much.
So, what do you think is another thing that makes humans different from other species?
I don't think a lot actually.
My mind is one big thing.
And what is it?
We always have to make things better.
Oh,
Like if you're if you're a giraffe and you have a bunch of trees to get off of, you're not trying to make better trees, right?
yeah,
Well, we have to have a better iPhone, better glass. We always have to improve
yeah.
something.
We always, and always
Always
creating.
trading, yeah. And plus for like short adventures, right? Maybe not so much now, but like, can you imagine like being like a European in 1492 and getting on this boat to come to like,
Oh, you talking about the pioneer? Yeah,
yeah,
it's also I also don't think all humans have that.
yeah, I
I
agree.
think
I
it's
agree
a
with that.
special kind of person.
I agree with that. Yeah,
It's like the person who pioneered and came to America is the same person who get the new iPhone when comes out, or get the, you know what I mean, like get the new technology. When you're like me, I'm the type of dude. I'm gonna wait till like I'm gonna give it 6 months.
yeah,
Let them work the kinks out.
yeah.
I'll stay over here. But I do think that that is a yeah. There's certain humans that are wired to just like branch out.
So there's been actors and actresses since beginning of time, right? Roman time, Egyptian times, whatever the case it be.
Yeah.
Do you think, let's suppose there's like the one of the greatest actors in the Roman Empire?
Mm-hmm.
Could that person come here and be a great actor in this generation?
Yeah, I think so.
And vice versa?
Yeah, I think
So acting is acting regardless of time.
I think the thing about it's almost like you're a sociologist, right? Like you're you're watching human behavior, you're trying to understand it. And I think anybody that does that and is like really super interested in it and just like how do humans work, you know, I think they have the capacity to do that. So I think that's what a lot of the job is. It's really like, you know.
So back to the movie. What was the inspiration for the movie?
The inspiration for the movie was my brother Sean passed away in 2021, and he was my world ambassador for dreams. He was I say this like any time I can. He was the type of dude that we would only get into arguments when I would fight for my own limitations. So when I would say that I couldn't do something, or I'm not this and I'm not that, he would just be like, I know who you are. Like I'm telling you who you are, you know, and you can do all of this stuff. And I see the greatness inside of you that I presently couldn't see. And those would be the only times where he was like ready to put hands on me, and it would get somebody else involved.
Where were you at, or how old were you when you were like, you know what? I might be able to make some money doing this film stuff. Like this might be the path I take for my life.
You know what's crazy? It's the way you phrased that. I'm like, wow, I've never thought, oh, I could make some money doing this. I probably should, but especially in the capitalist society we live in. But for me, when was it? I remember my dad, is an educator and was doing a lot of plays and stuff. When I was younger, writing and directing his own stuff, we would do like dinner theater. My mom would cook, and you know, we were doing all of this stuff. And I just wanted to be like my dad, right? So I was always up under him, wanting to be like him and watching him. And for most of my life, I thought it was my dad. And then when my mother passed, I was like, oh, I used to write these little stories. So my mom, we would watch all the old movies, older films, like Maltese Falcon, a lot of Humphrey Bogart stuff. So I would write these detective novels when I was like 5 or 6. These books called where I was like, a gumshoe in Brooklyn, and I was like a kid detective named Eden Bogart. So I would write these stories for my mom, and my mom would read it. She'd get so excited and like want another book. So I was like always like writing her these books, and it would bring her so much joy. So I think that probably was the genesis of it. And then I was on stage at like 16 doing a play for my dad. In one of my dad's plays that I begged him, I was like, I could do it. And it was like, I was on stage and I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Like, I like this.
How old were you again?
I was 16.
Okay.
There was another time when I was 13. My dad was doing a play, and the female lead was sick, and he didn't have understudies. So, and he's gonna lose his money. Like, so I was like, Dad, I could do it. I could do the part. I know the part. I'm here every day. Like, I was like, yo, just put me in a dress, put a wig on me, some lipstick, and let's go. He was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, nah, Dad, I could do it. And so I did
Your
it.
dad was probably like, I ain't putting no fucking dress on my son.
He actually, I give my parents a lot of credit because, like, when I was a kid, like, I was playing with dolls, man. My mom and my dad were very progressive in that way. So maybe it's because of the theater background. But we all had, there was different terminology or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, it was every kind of person was coming through the door, hanging out for Christmas, everything. So, yeah. So, and then I did it.
So movies, like if you have a book, books are broken down to chapters are paragraphs, paragraph sentences. So if you have a movie, how's it broken? Is it like as a movie, then scenes and sub scenes?
That's just a question. I think from the film to the acts. Most films are like three act structure.
Okay, and what are acts made of?
Acts are made of scenes.
Okay,
and then scenes.
And each act has a different number of scenes, or it's the same number of scenes?
No, it could be each act could have however many scenes. So then you have the scenes, and then from scenes you have beats.
Okay.
So how something shifts from one moment to one moment, like beat by beat.
Okay.
So that was the joke. Was that like the term beat came because especially I think in the early days of filmmaking, there were a lot of German folks involved, so they couldn't say bit, so they would say beat.
And so, like, I'm guessing the time for a scene is different. Each scene has a different amount of time.
Yeah.
And each scene might have a different amount of beats.
Yes, 100%.
And a beats are usually like a few minutes long, 10 minutes long. Just
it could be. The beat could be 2 minutes. A beat could be 3 seconds. 3 moments. And then from a beat, it will go to a moment.
So when you're doing your thing, like
I think.
So like you do the beat, like do you like what's your plan? What's your process of playing? Like the music, the camera angles. Do you do that per beat, per scene? Does that make any sense?
I think music wise, like some scenes, I think very intently about the music. So I'm just like, oh, I want this. This is what I'm thinking about for this scene. Others I don't. And then what was the second half of that question?
So you have a plan for a scene. Like, I want this music. Then I want the camera angles like this. I want the dialogue to be this. I want this character to play this emotion. And you it's all in your brain, on your book. You whiteboard it.
Oh, it's a combination of things, but it is very much like, what will my process be? Of course, I write it. And then I try to break it down. Yeah, like beat by beat. Scene. So I write it. Then I'll do like a scene breakdown of each thing. What's going on in the scene? Very much like mentioned earlier that Coppola does with The Godfather, The Godfather handbook. And then, once I kind of get that layout, it helps me think about things. And I'm also with the Scorsese lesson of writing down on each page, like, what is this thing about? And that shit is hard. Trying to get your thing down, like to a theme, like trying to get the theme down to like, okay, like what is this thing about? Like down to a sentence or hopefully a word, but that's where the craft comes in. That's the hard work.
And this is all you. You got like assistants helping you with this. This is all you.
No, yeah, with the breaking down the book and all that stuff, that's me. Everybody comes definitely. I have a ton of help after that, just like because you can't make something without other people.
Yeah. So I remember I see this on social media a lot, right? I have no idea when it happened, right? So I guess a few years ago, Martin Scorsese got nominated for another Oscar, right?
Yeah.
But this Korean director actually won it, right? And like he really couldn't speak English that good, and so the Korean lady was like a interpreter for her, right? And then like he said, "Hey, hold on," and he said this. He said, "Cause you just like when you win, like you put all the spotlight on you, right? I won, blah blah blah." But he's like, "I just want to telling one of my favorite quote was the most personal, most creative by the great Martin Scorsese, right? So in that moment, he decided like give his mentor and idol like all this glory, right?
That's beautiful.
Everyone like give him standing ovation, right? After finding the century, right? It was so cool, right? Like what's most personal is most creative, right? And most people, oh man, I got the director award, but no, he's like, hey, here's this guy's the reason I did this, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
I thought it was so fucking cool.
He's
I
one of
can't,
the great
yeah.
ones. Yeah, he's definitely I'm super influenced by him. I don't know how many times I saw Goodfellas.
Yeah.
And listen to, again, like it's something that doesn't exist as much anymore. But the commentaries, man, that was always great.
The director's cuts back in the day, yeah. You buy the extra DVD just for the director cut, just for all the other stuff, you know.
It's like going to film school. It's the best. The Boomerang one I would listen to a million times. Reginald Hudlin. So yeah, it's like I went to film school doing that stuff.
And so you have a lot of stuff going on, right? So this right term might not be a side project, but one side project you want to do is a children's book, correct?
Yeah. I wrote a children's book that goes hand in hand with the film, because the patriarch in the film is a children's book author. So there's certain like words from the book that I put in the film, and then a really good friend of mine, Blake Henry, said, I think you should write that book. And I was like, okay. So then I wrote it. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And people dug it. So I was like, oh, this would be cool so it's written, but now, it's just the process of getting it printed.
You did like all the illustrations, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So now it's just a matter of...
And what's the name of it?
It's called The World Ambassador of Dreams.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of, like the large scale kind of printing it up and all that stuff that I'm figuring out now, because it's like as a creator nowadays, you have to, which we talked about at the summit, right? The Create Summit. It's just like, you got to figure out everything, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, all
taxes, data entry clerk.
It's like all the things.
Management.
It's like all the things that you're not good at, but specifically that yet, I will say, that you have to get good at. And it's like, yeah, well, that might suck, but you know what else sucks more is like doing a job you fucking hate.
Yeah.
That sucks more.
Here's one for you. So in the movie, there's a scene where you knock out the other dude, right? And your arms hurts, right?
Yeah.
How many people do you think are going to notice that you have a black splint on your hand?
I love that. Yeah, I'm glad you noticed that.
I noticed it. I bet most people won't notice that.
Yeah. And, we made the film, the intention was, I want the film to be a ritual for grief, right? And also for joy. So if that's the case, then when things are not going your way, I want it to be a tone. I want it to be something that you go back to. So if that's the case, then like every single moment of that film was thought through. And, I spent a few years with my boy Frank editing it. So it's like, and it's happened, and that's the greatest thing about like when people come to see the movie again and they're like, this felt like a completely different movie.
That's a good one to usually are.
Yeah, and it was, and they're like, yo, I love it even more. That was the intention. I was hoping that people would come back and have an even deeper connection to it and love it more, and it feel like a different experience, because again, you're showing up to it, even if it's 5 hours later, you're showing up as a different person. And so that was the thing. It was just like, if I'm thinking about every moment of the film, you can't catch everything the first time you watch it. So hopefully, you're continuing to watch it.
I caught that shit, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What was I going to ask you? Shit. Oh, yeah. So you talked about after you saw the movie, we did a little conversation.
Yeah.
You talk about like how you left some parts out of the movie, right? Is there anything you like wish you would have left in?
Wish I would have left in. No, there's a lot of things that I think are fucking funny as hell, or like really like well acted, where I'm just like, oh, this is probably better than the stuff that's in the movie now. I think about that a lot, and there's the itch to be like, oh, you can put that back, but it's like, no, man. Story is queen, story is king. If something is not moving the story, it has to go. I don't care how great it is. If it's a double beat, it doesn't stay because the thing is, I learned this. I was doing a workshop at City College back in the days, and it was like this thing called the Directing Actors Workshop, where there are people in the director's program. You come in as an actor, and then they're directing you. And there was a moment that was fucked up in the scene, and then they were trying to fix it, and then the director says, when you're directing is Western versus Eastern medication. He's like, because you guys are from the West, you want to um, you, you want to deal with the symptom. So it's like this moment that you think is messed up between Eden and Jason while they're talking at this podcast and it just went left. That's not the moment. The cause of it was 15 moments before. It was 5 pages before. And because it started to go off the rails there, now they're completely separate. So there's I don't even know how I got here, but there's a lot to that. It's like, so if I have a double beat 15 pages earlier, that's hilarious. People laughing their asses off, right? But it's the same as the beat before it, or same as the beat 5 pages ago. It's gonna go off the rails. Because now the grace they would have given you to just listen a little bit more, now they're gonna get bored.
Has this ever happened? Like, you tell the actor, hey, we're gonna cut the scene out, and they're like, dude, that was basically the best work I've ever done. How the fuck you gonna cut my shit out, right? Like, this is my best work I've ever done. Eden, like, what are you doing right here?
Oh shit! I mean, I've done it to myself with my own stuff. I think I have. You kind of just get to it early. You're just like, yo, bro, you're fantastic in this thing, but it's just not moving the story.
Yeah.
And I think everybody understands that knows me, and I work with people that I know and love and care about. That it's not out of malice. Like, even if it's the wrong decision, I'm making it because I think it's the right decision for the story.
So don't you do sort of like some stuff like that, some kind of Brooklyn school, education, film school, something like that? Like some kind of nonprofit or something?
I teach at Pratt, storytelling at Pratt Institute. Now I was an educator for 10 years.
Okay.
In the public school system.
Teaching film?
No. I was a special education paraprofessional. So
okay.
I don't know if you know what a parrot.
Yeah.
You know what a parrot is?
Yeah. My wife does that.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
I was always wondering. I was like, oh, is this like just specific? Like, because
but here, I think here they call it paraeducator here.
Paraeducator.
Yeah.
But it's like you're there to assist the teacher.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So I did that in special education. So basically, like, kids that have emotional difficulties, violent. So I did that for 10 years.
Nice. How many movies have you done? Like, what's your it's called a discography or something like that?
Discography.
That's what it's called?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably like 5 features. I mean, when I was working at the Board of Ed, I was making movies. Yeah, with my friends and shit. And then when I kind of moved away from that, I left the Board of Education. Made a movie called Bruce that did really well on the film festival circuit. And then I made a movie during the pandemic. It was my other brother Jared. We grew up on the block together, like we were like all family. He passed away early on during the pandemic, April 9th, 2020. So I kind of like the way I kind of process grief also is by creating things. So that's kind of what I do. So my dad, when I was working on this movie, he saw a cut of it and he was like crying through it. He was like, how do you put yourself through this? Like, how you put yourself through this? And I didn't look at it like that. For me, it's the opportunity to praise my ancestors, to show love, and then through that process of like working on something over and over again, it's like I process grief that way. One of the ways. So I made that film which was like a found footage film because we were in the middle of it. So I had like 7 friends that are writers, like write scenes, and then they all acted everything out and did it in their homes. And then I pulled it together and edited it into a complete thing. And then I just made this film.
Is there an emotion that's harder to like portray than other emotions?
Is there an emotion that's harder to portray?
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing, when I was in acting school, bro, the hardest thing for people to access was joy. So that was the thing that would be hard for folks. But to me, it was bad easy. Like, it was so easy for me to access joy that we would do these exercises, and you would have to come up with like, just something that you would just be completely over the world about. And for me, it was like they were making a new, and it's all imagined. They were making a new version of the Greatest American Hero, and I booked the part. And then I came home and I was so excited. Like I pulled out the the costume. But I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning the previous night, like sewing that costume together. Anyway, I was 5 seconds into it. I was just filled up with so much joy. My professor, my acting teacher was like, okay, that's enough. But so for me, I mean, I think like when it says in the fucking scene, like he cries, I mean, that's always kind of just like, I mean, what are we doing here? Like, why am I doing this? But that's my job as an actor to kind of get there. So maybe, I don't know. But I do think there's a pressure when it says he cries.
Why do you think there's like some actresses or actors like you like they're just good at it, right? Like I guess Meryl Streep's good at it, Denzel Washington's good at it. Like I guess they just hone the craft that much.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? These are master craftsmen.
Yeah.
They're people who dedicated their life to something. They gave their life. They gave their life to it. They basically decided to die for it.
Yeah. Just like I said yesterday, Jimmy Page, like any so-called expert who's a top 5 guitar players of all time, Jimmy Page is on the list, right? Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, and over 70, he still plays guitar 4 hours a day, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
Even though he knows he'll never go to concert again, he just says, I play 4 hours a day because I want to be, that's my thing,
Yeah. I think it's such an admirable thing to dedicate your life to something that, I think is going to help humanity. I think all the folks that you just said, that's the goal. It's crazy. We were talking about, I asked you the question about your why.
Yeah.
You know what? But you just said it. You said it when you were doing the thing in the beginning. It's about community for you.
Yeah.
It's about help. It's about helping
I
others.
never connected that dot before.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I never connected that before. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, yo.
That question's always been hard for me to answer. Like,
yeah.
And always my fallback, like, it's my DNA genetics. I don't know.
And it's weird because, like, even in our limited conversations, when you talk about like your time, in the military, again, thank you for your service.
And thank you for paying your taxes to pay my retirement.
Let's get it gladly. And when you were talking about that time, you kind of light up a little bit when you were talking about some folks, and I was like, oh, this dude's about community.
Yeah.
So then when you said it here, I was like, oh yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So you said a statement earlier about us going left.
Yeah.
Everybody go left.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your G bitches.
My G bitches.
Yeah.
What are G bitches?
The Giants.
Oh. I couldn't even. I was like, what is it? I was like, what is he talking about? No, my Giants aren't bitches, baby. Come on, let's talk about them. What you want to talk about, baby?
Man, so
remember, I just want to put it out there. If you come for me, I'm coming for you. Okay.
So how do you feel about this upcoming season?
Oh, I'm super confident.
Why?
So many reasons. One, I feel like we have the A-level talent, right? We spent the last 2 off seasons kind of building the reinforcements, the backup. I don't know if you want to say backups, but the other members of the football team, right? We're deeper.
Okay.
We have a quarterback that
Yeah, you're potentially superstar quarterback.
potential
I'll
superstar
give you
quarterback. That is also,
if he can learn how to slide.
thank you. Can we talk about this? Thank you for bringing this up. This is what annoys me.
He playing like a high school quarterback.
No. But the thing is, the NFL or the powers that be kept calling him into the tent all year long, and it was like the NFL made a kind of narrative about it, and it's just like, okay, the dude got blown up.
He was getting blown up.
He did, but when he came back, he got blown up in that New England game for not walking out of bounds. A ton of quarterbacks get blown up like that, right? He played much better the rest of the season, but they kept calling him into the tent, and I'm just like, yo. And everybody kept saying, oh, he's going in the concussion protocol. He had one concussion last year. He had one. That was it. But they're trying to make it seem like, oh, this dude had 5. No, he had one concussion. They kept calling him into the tent, and he was cleared to play. So I believe that Jackson, I watch how Jackson moves, and I watched him play against the hardest schedule in the NFL last year.
And you could tell his teammates really like him.
Yeah,
like
they love him.
His teammates love him. Yeah,
that was the one thing. That was one of the things about the draft. They said that every time they talked to a Ole Miss player, whether it was offense or defense, everyone talked about Jackson Dart.
He was a leader.
Yeah, he was that guy.
You think Malik Neighbor's going to play this year? You know, he just had a second knee surgery.
Yeah, second knee surgery. Yeah, but I think he'll be ready for opening day, 100%.
Who other receivers y'all got besides him?
Well, we just got the boy from Notre Dame, which I'm excited about.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got that Plaxico build, that like 6'4.5", 220-pound body. He dropped in the draft because he ran like a 4.62.
Yeah. But
the way the Giants they do all the GPS ratings and stuff like that, for miles per hour and his ability to like get low and get out of breaks, they say he runs in real time like football speed is 4.4.
Okay.
So we've got him. We got Mooney from the Falcons, which I'm excited about. He's a 1,000-yard receiver with Chicago a few years back. And again, he had issues because of poor quarterback play. So
yeah, any running backs besides that Cam Scatterboo?
We got Cam Scatterboo. We got Tyrone Tracy, who in his rookie year had 1,000 yards from scrimmage, and really played well last year. Even come back from.
That's like you're a real fucking Giant fan.
Come on now. We got Devin Singletary. I actually am super confident about the running back room. So we got that. We also, we got Darius, who's my guy, Darius Slayton. Who I think gets a bad rap from Giant fans, and I think he'll hold on to the ball a little bit more.
What impact do you think John Harbaugh's going to have?
A huge. This is like, and I get Ravens fans. I get like, you could be in, you could be in a relationship. I remember Bruce Willis back in the day said, find me the most beautiful woman in the world. I'll find a man who could cheat on her.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's that kind of deal where you just get tired. Yeah. Of a person.
Man, we won 11 games again.
Yeah. But we didn't go to this.
And only won one playoff game again.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy.
Like, you better go check out the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, this guy's
better go check out the New York Jets.
Come on, man. This guy's a CEO head coach. He knows what he's doing. He knows the right people. I feel like even the offensive room, right? Like, people might complain about Matt Nagy and say that, he's a terrible offensive coordinator, whatever. But the dude had a winning season in Chicago, right? He had one losing season, but I think he was 8-8 the other season. So you have a veteran there. Then you have Callahan, who was helping Joe Burrow, then was the head coach of Tennessee. And then you have Greg Roman, who's the greatest run coordinator of our generation. So I'm like, yo, man, we got the run, we got the pass. It's gonna be a problem, man.
So I'm a big time Cowboy fan. I hate the Giants, but I'm gonna tell you why.
Likewise, I love the people of Dallas, though. I've been to Dallas 3 times.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. If you're a Giant fan, you should hope. You have hope, right? Last year, y'all lost like 6 games that you led by 14 points in 4 quarters. John Harbaugh alone is gonna have y'all win 3 of those games.
I mean, we should have won all those games. Yeah. Did you see the Denver Broncos?
Yeah.
Did you see the Denver Broncos?
John Harbaugh was gonna lose those games.
You realize though that was the best defense in the NFL, and a rookie quarterback was shredding them.
Yep. And then this, I don't know if you realize this, 3 years ago, the Washington Commanders had a horrible season, right? They bring in Jaden Daniels and
Yeah.
Dan Quinn. They go to playoffs,
I
NFC
know.
Championship game.
No, I was yeah.
2 years ago, New England was 4-13.
Yeah.
Last year, they bring in Drake May and that coach, I think it was the name, go to Super Bowl.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel.
This
My,
year,
my my wife's a diehard
this year,
Patriots fan.
bring in John Harbaugh, new coach, and fucking Jackson Dart.
Yeah, dog.
The template's is there for y'all, right?
It was there. I'm sorry.
The template's there for y'all.
The template is there, dude. And I mean, look, we just look at the defensive line. It's like New York Giant football, bro.
Mhm.
We got Brian Burns, boom. Kayvon Thibodeau, boom. We got the boy from Ohio State. I guess because it's late, I can't think of his name right now. Man, I'm like blanking. My man from Penn State last year, 3rd overall pick.
So you think Thibodeau's a good player?
Hell yes.
You don't think he's overrated?
No,
No.
I don't think he's actually rated. Like
No.
I think people just the thing with Thibodeau is he's super strong. He holds the edge on the rush, and he affects the game, but he doesn't necessarily get all the stats. And he's been injured the last 2 years, so I'm excited. I'm excited for him. Yeah, I just think on the line of scrimmage, it's gonna be hell.
So let me ask you this, right? As football fans, right? Like, obviously, I'm a Cowboy fan. I hate the Redskins or the Commanders, the Eagles, Giants, hate them all. You know.
Yeah.
But like, I don't understand why Philadelphia Eagle fans are trying to run Jalen Hurts out of Philadelphia.
Dog.
I don't get it. He took the 2 Super Bowls. Maybe he can't make all the throws. Maybe he has. I don't know, but. Like I think he's a character person. Like he got benched at Alabama. He took like an
That's
adult
right. From Tua, yeah.
Oklahoma. I don't get it why they want to try to run him out. He'll just like scandal pieces in the news about him. Like he's not a good team player or whatever. He refused coach. I don't get it, right?
I listen, man. To like you said, 3 years, 2 Super Bowl
He
appearances.
balled out of
and
both
one.
of them.
Yeah, he balled out. He balled out in both of them
Yes.
against Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
And definitely I played him in one game.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes is a generational player. He's
Yep.
a big kind of big game dude.
Yeah.
I think what their complaint is, right, that he can't hit those throws over the middle.
Yeah.
His wide receivers mad at him. The head coach, he's probably the sweetest guy in the world.
Mhm.
I can't stand looking at him.
Yeah. You want to punch him in the mouth?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm not a violent dude, but he annoys the ever-loving shit out of me. Like when he was like, yo, thank you for Saquon. I was like, yo, that dude pissed me off, man.
I mean, he did have a point, right? You know, like y'all gave him away.
Well, this is the other thing too, man. I mean, like, yo, did we give him away? They offered him a contract.
Yeah.
Multiple times. Saquon wanted, and the other thing too is like I get it from Saquon's point of view. You're not gonna win here, bro.
Yeah.
We didn't have the infrastructure set up for you. And I love you. Would I have rathered him not go to my division and gone to another division, and I would have been much happier for him?
I mean, like
100%.
Like go to go to the Raiders or something.
Yeah, but the dude is a beautiful person, just a high character dude. I wish the best for him. I want him to go to the Hall of Fame. Still like, yo, fuck the Eagles. Again, a great group. I love Philadelphia, but like, they're definitely going up my list. I mean, the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. Like I say this all the time. Like I don't really hate much.
Yeah.
No, I hate the Cowboys. I hate the Dallas Cowboys, bro. And for many reasons. For many reasons. Do you want me to give you one of them?
Yeah, give me one of them.
Gladly. The this is the analogy for me with the Dallas Cowboys. It's like, okay, so you have an older brother who goes to high school. He's the man.
Yeah.
The man in high school, right? And then he finishes, and then his little brother comes into high school. And his little brother thinks that he should be the man and acts like he should be treated like his big brother who did the things that needed to be done to be the man. That is how I feel about the Cowboys post 1998.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, listen, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Dallas Johnston, Nate Newton, Jay Novacek, the great Larry Allen. These guys did the work, right? Russell Maryland, Darren Woodson, right? Like these are guys who did the work to get 3 championships, and y'all should have won like 6.
We should have easily.
Dude,
The ego.
Thank
ego.
Yo, you know what makes me nervous?
The ego.
Let me tell you the thing that makes
What?
me the most nervous
What?
about the Dallas Cowboys is that eventually Stephen Jones will take over, and I think he's good at his job, and that makes me nervous.
So here's one for you. So the Cowboys, they won the first 2 Super Bowls,
Yes.
and then they lost to 49ers, right?
Yes.
Supposedly Jerry Jones said that he prayed to God and say, God gets me one more Super Bowl, and I never want another one, right? And so that year we beat the Steelers and haven't been back since. Haven't been back since.
Neil O'Donnell Steelers.
Yep. Because a lot of Cowboy fans think we're not.
I didn't know that.
We're not getting another one until because he made that deal to God, so to speak.
He made a deal. It makes sense. I mean, Jimmy. I always loved Jimmy Johnson because I used to really love the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah.
The idea that he thought that anybody, Jimmy Johnson.
Any 500 coaches are going to do this.
Yeah, but you know why any 500 coaches can do that? Because Jimmy Johnson built the Cowboys.
Yep.
That's why. And that's why Barry Switzer could come in with an angry Troy Aikman who felt like he had to be the head coach.
Yeah. People don't know about that.
Dude.
Aikman hated Switzer for the longest time.
Of course. And he also, again, he went to Oklahoma for a year, right?
Yep.
But it drove him nuts that he had to be the bad cop.
Yeah. Like, I'm a quarterback. He's supposed to be the bad cop.
Dude. Those teams, I fucking respect those teams.
Yeah.
I do. These guys, no, bro. You haven't done anything. Like, stop acting like when Jerry Jones starts talking all this Dallas Cowboys shit. I'm like, bro, yeah, you're a $10 billion brand.
Yeah.
And I also, it's just like, yo, man, like, stop, like, you haven't won in a really long time. Like, be humble. And like, if I was a Cowboy fan, the best thing would be for Jerry to just give it up to Stephen Jones.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
And let him run it. Because he was going to draft Johnny Manziel, right?
Jerry Jones was.
And then Stephen came in and was just like, no, Zach Martin.
Yeah.
Right? You guys build an offensive line.
Because Stephen Jones didn't want to sign Deion Sanders.
Oh, well, then that was Stephen didn't. Well, that was crazy. That was crazy though, because prime time was.
I mean, he was doing the numbers right.
Yeah.
Because think of all the players we could have signed if we didn't sign Deion, right? We lost a lot of players because Deion signed.
I never thought about that.
Prime is my guy. Resign Prime is all the cap is. Yeah, Prime to me, you can't have a conversation about the greatest athletes of all time without Prime.
No, of course he's got to be in there. He's the greatest cornerback I've ever seen play. I mean, Rod Woodson's up there.
I'm a firm believer. If you were to focus on baseball, he'd be in Hall of Fame in baseball right now.
Of course, he was prime
generational.
Prime time. Prime was different, man. But yeah, those Dallas Cowboys teams, man. I remember fucking was that 1993, 94. I remember Dan Reeves was the coach. It was Phil Simms' last year. We were 11-5.
The shoulder in the game. The shoulder game.
What do you have, like 144 yards in the game?
And 75 yards receiving. I think that Lawrence Taylor's last game too.
Yeah, dude, that enraged me, bro. I'll never forget that.
So I don't know if you probably didn't see this, right? But they show on the TV all the time. In the game, right? The Cowboys won, right?
Yeah, I know this. I know that, Jason.
Yeah, and this Giant said something, right? And Mike Irvin said, "Take it like a man, a losing man."
I never saw that. I'm glad I never saw that. Also, I mean, Michael Irvin, man, just like, did you hear that rant that he had like a few months back when he was talking about like what the receivers back in the day had to do, and like going over the middle?
Yep.
Michael Irvin, I mean, again, the dude who I think for me, when I think about that era, I think about Jerry Rice, I think about Mike Irvin, I think about Chris Carter.
Yeah.
The dude to me, and I'm glad he's in the Hall of Fame now, Sterling Sharp was the fucking man.
Yeah, he should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago.
This guy next to Jerry Rice to me, Sterling Sharp.
Without the neck injury?
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
He was a
He's
dog.
fast, big, strong, yeah.
And super smart, man. He was my guy.
For Brett Favre throwing to him, yeah.
I remember this game against Detroit, man, where he got wide open in the end zone at the end of the game, and like Favre threw it across the field like 60 yards. Yeah, he was the man. But like, yeah, Cowboys, I I mean, the total, and
But it's crazy, right? If it was any other team, like I think so this year, the Rams have the most money, the most primetime game 7,
yeah,
and then the Cowboys are 6.
of course, because because there's so many Cowboys fans.
You know why that is, right? Why we became America's team?
I thought it was the Vietnam War, was it not?
No, sort of, kinda. So the 70s, they used to have only 3 channels, and like suppose you live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, you see the Vikings at 1, and the Cowboys at 4. The second game, every channel was always the Cowboys.
Okay. I thought that they like sent the reels to the soldiers in the war. I thought that they were getting to see some of the games.
Yeah, probably that too, but mainly because like
I'm sure you're right.
Yeah. And plus, having a Navy veteran, Heisman Trophy winner, Roger Staubach, Captain America's quarterback,
Roger the Dodger.
Clean image, yeah. So here's a crazy story. So Tex Schramm was the general manager of the Cowboys, right? Had a great idea. So he had the idea, like, we need cheerleaders, right? Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, right? And Tom Landry's like, you know what? No, I'm not coaching this. Like, well, first of all, you're not coaching this, right? But, like, I don't want to be involved because Tom Landry's like real religious man, Christian. Like, this is porn. Like, I don't want porn. Like, Tex Schramm putting no porn. No, this is porn, Tom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, Tom, this is porn. That's good, wholesome American fun.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, but one thing about
you're welcome for Tom Landry too.
Yeah,
you're welcome. The Giants.
Yeah, defensive. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Because he was the defense coordinator, and Vince Lombardi was the offensive coordinator, right?
Yep.
Those two had some battles through the years.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Vince Lombardi, Tom Landry. Yeah. What's So back in the day, the big rivalry used to be like Cowboys, Redskins. I mean, Cowboys, Commanders. Probably not so much anymore. What's a big rivalry for the Giants?
I think anytime they play anybody in the NFC East, I think specifically the Cowboys and the Eagles, because again, y'all been kicking our ass for some years.
Man, how many times the Eagles broke your heart?
Yeah. I mean, like with 62-yard field goals and
the fucking Herm Edwards fumble return.
Oh, 79.
The fucking what's his name? Jackson punt return.
Yeah. Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
But how many times did we break their heart?
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's trophies in the case. So
one thing I don't think the NFC East, maybe not so much now, but back in the day, NFC used to run the NFL.
Yeah.
It was like back to back to back. At the one time, the Giants won 2, Redskins won 2, Cowboys won 2. It was like bam, bam, bam.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the Buffalo Bills had to play all of us back to back to back years, right?
Dude, that Redskins team though, what is that? 1991?
Yeah.
That 90? No, wait. The Giants won in 92. The 92, 93. That Redskins team with Mark Rippon and Art Monk and Gary Clark.
Gary Clark, yeah, Gary Clark.
And Seminole, like, dude, that's up there. That's a top 3 team I ever saw with my own 2 eyes, man. Like for one season, I was like, they could have gone undefeated. Like, they were incredible.
Yeah, they were.
Like, and I know the Bears with the 46 defense.
That one year they had that one magical year, but they never did anything
else.
Yeah.
And again, like this year with the Redskins was magical, and I believe Joe Gibbs is the only coach to win with 3 different quarterbacks, right?
Yeah. Basically 3 different offensive systems.
Yo, dude, like the way Mark Rippon was throwing that moon ball down the field, bro, and Gary Sanders and Gary Clark and was it Reggie Sanders?
Ricky Sanders.
Dude, it was something to watch, man. And then I remember it was like an older but still fucking dominant Wilbur Marshall.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Dude, that was Ernest Biner, like the redemption story.
Man, to me, it's crazy that the Chicago Bears only won 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah, with that team.
Only 1 Super Bowl.
Do you think it's also because
you're going against the 49ers, the Giants?
Yeah, and what's his name's getting hurt all the time?
Jim McMahon. Yeah.
Yeah, but those other teams, like that Giant team, the next year they weren't losing.
Yeah, the back in that generation, it was all NFC back then. It's all NFC.
Lawrence Taylor, Carl Banks.
Lawrence Taylor showed up with the fucking first quarter. Oh shit, I forgot I had a game.
Yeah, it was amazing, dominating. Talk about a dude with a separated shoulder.
Yeah,
having 3.5 sacks against New Orleans.
Yeah, I know you heard the story about the time when so it was an NFL show, right? They're talking about the top 100, and Bill Belichick was telling a story where he went to Bill Parcells. Hey, Lawrence Taylor was late. What do you want me to do? What do you mean? He was like, yeah, he was late. Well, why do you start the meeting?
Why'd you start the practice? It was awesome, man.
And Lawrence like, that's my fucking guy.
Yeah. Lawrence Taylor is the greatest football player I've ever seen with my own two eyes. The greatest football player I ever saw. They would tell stories about how like they would order like prostitutes and drugs to, I think the Redskins did that shit like the night before a game.
Yeah.
And then like I forgot what quarterback or whatever he hit. And he was like talking to the lineman, and he was just like, "I had a great time last night. Thanks.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna harass you.
Yeah, like you don't know me.
Yeah,
like I'm built different, motherfucker.
Yeah, he was
like cocaine is my fucking vitamin. Cocaine's my vitamin C.
Dude, that dude.
Cocaine and pussy is my vitamin C and D.
That dude was the greatest football player I ever saw, man.
He was insane. Yeah.
Reggie White is up there too.
Yeah.
So I'll throw Philly a bone.
NFL or college?
Football.
Yeah, football.
I used to really be into college football,
Yeah.
man. I think more now it's the NFL.
NFL.
Man. I guess you get older too, right? Like when I was younger, I guess I had less responsibilities, so I will watch a lot more college football. I get into it later on in the season, like with the draft. I like the draft stuff and figuring out like who might come to my team. But nah, it's the NFL, it's the NBA.
So this might get you riled up. Eli Manning, is he a Hall of Fame quarterback?
This should not even be a discussion, bro. This should not be a discussion.
How?
I'll start off with this.
Okay.
Oh, what are your thoughts on Eli Manning? Let's start with that.
My opinion, right? He went to Super Bowl, right? He played like 10, 15 years. How long did he usually play?
Like 15
years, okay.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about this. I could be making this up, right?
No worries.
But those 2 years he won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So the last 10 games of each year, right? He balled the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
So those 10 games, he went like pretty much like 16-4, right? He threw like boatload of yards, boatload of touchdowns, boatload, like no interceptions, right?
Yeah.
I said I could be wrong, right? Could be my own bias.
No worries.
But I remember reading somewhere, I just believe that if you take those 20 games out, he has a losing record, has more interceptions than touchdowns.
This is the thing. If Eli Manning was on your Cowboys teams, y'all would have won rings. Now, the Giants failed Eli Manning the last half of his career.
Yeah.
They failed him. Horrible first-round draft picks, right? Guys that maybe went and played other places, but like Eric Flowers, so many second-round draft picks. Just like as much as I love Jerry Reese, the second half of Eli's career was crazy, and it was a revolving door. And
so you think the first half is good enough to get him in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, and also even amidst all that stuff, he still was putting up numbers. Like everybody talks about Eli Manning's interceptions, right? I was watching the games. There are so many of those interceptions that were not his fault.
Okay.
So the way that what's my man that our offensive coordinator that used to that Buddy Ryan.
Kevin Gilbride.
Kevin Gilbride. So Kevin Gilbride had that option offense where the receivers could run. They had different options on the routes.
And so they were communicating correctly.
Exactly. So they were fucking up. The receivers were fucking up. And
Eli,
Eli's throwing, and then Eli's getting it, and then Eli's the trooper that's never going to throw somebody under the bus because that's the kind of leader he was, right? So there was a lot of that. There were a lot of those games where Eli would come back in the fourth quarter and then the defense would fall apart.
Yeah.
Right? And he still has a tremendous amount of fourth quarter comebacks. In that 2011 year, because everybody's like, oh, he was never a top 5 quarterback, a top 10 quarterback. Let me tell you something. Roethlisberger, great quarterback. None of these guys would have lasted in New York.
It is a different beast.
For a multitude of reasons, right? So Eli, in that 2011 year, everybody talks about like how it was always the defense. The Giants had 29th worst defense in the NFL that year. This is a point of fact. We had top 5 offense. Eli threw for more at that time. I think Brady might have broken it with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Eli threw the most yards in the history of the NFL regular season and playoffs in 2011. So how the fuck is he not how is Eli not a top 5 quarterback that year? He dominated. I saw the San Francisco 49ers try to take his soul with Hall of Famers across the field. I saw Eli get his head hit so hard that his face mask was over here and he still had the presence of mind to call timeout. He is, in terms of, did you ever see the Max Kellerman shit, man? When they talked about the most clutch quarterbacks in postseason, and that they ran the numbers, they ran the numbers through the algorithm, and Eli was far and away the most clutch quarterback in the history of the playoffs. And then he was so far ahead that they had to run the numbers again, and it was a smaller margin, but he was still the most clutch. He just didn't have the opportunities because the team wasn't that good.
Okay, let me ask you this. Now, being like even-headed, now make the case for him not being a Hall of Famer.
The even record, right?
Because I kind of think that's unfair to quarterbacks sometimes. You know, the winning things. You know, I mean, it is what it is. You know,
Doug, I can't tell you how many times the dude had the lead in the fourth quarter, and the team gave the game away because of some dumb shit,
like a dumb penalty or offside, or
and then especially after
misassignment.
Especially after Tom Coughlin left.
Yeah,
it was a fucking wrap.
Who took his place? I forgot.
After Coughlin left, it was
I know that everything went
downhill. It
downhill.
was I could see him. He was he was at Green Bay first, and then came over here. It's because it's late. I think I can't remember his name right now, but he was there for 2 years, and then after that, Shermer was there for 2 years, and then Joe Judge. So he got those last 3 years were 4 years were crazy, bro.
How do you think the Giants handled it? I can't think of the name. Who's the player they benched Eli Manning for?
Oh, Geno Smith.
It was Geno Smith?
It was Geno Smith.
No, Geno Smith for the Jets.
No, but then he was the backup on the Giants.
I thought it was a rookie.
Oh, you talking about when Daniel Jones came the next year?
Yeah, Daniel Jones. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, because
I thought they did it. I thought Giants did him so wrong.
Yeah. Also, I want to say another thing about Eli. He always played.
Yeah.
Right. It's next.
I give him that. Yeah, he definitely always played.
And the reason why he didn't play is because the coach benched him. So that's why his streak got broken. This dude played with a fractured foot, bro. He played with a separated shoulder the year they won the Super Bowl. He's a quarterback. Yeah. They thought he was going to be out for the year. He was there the next week.
So you know who's like a real big fan of Eli Manning?
Who?
Deion Sanders.
Oh, you can't spell Eli without elite. You can't spell elite without Eli.
Like Deion, like I believe in Eli.
I believe in Eli.
I believe in Eli. He would say it all this fucking time when he's on the NFL Network. Yeah.
And a lot of these former players like, oh, we never game plan for Eli. Okay, so fucking what? Oh, you know. So it's like, okay, so what? You didn't game plan for him. He's lighting your ass up though.
Yeah. I still think like one of the best throws I've ever seen was that throw he did to the receiver in the second.
Mario Manningham.
That throw,
Come
man.
on, man.
That throw.
But again, it's just like he did that. So like cats like Skip Bayless and stuff would be like, oh, he's lucky. So how many times has somebody have to do something to where they're not lucky, they're clutch, and you don't want it. You don't want it with them. And Skip, people, they know, especially in the division, you didn't want it with him with the game on the line. You know you were nervous. Stop playing.
One thing I do like about Eli, he'll troll people.
It's hilarious.
Like there's one text where I can't remember the background, but it was Tom Brady did a text. Oh, I know what it was. It was Tom Brady and Nick Foles and Eli Manning. Eli said, Tom, have you told your friend you got two dads?
It's awesome. He's the best, man. And the thing, and I remember the first Super Bowl in 2007. I was working at the Board of Ed, and we had like a softball, staff softball game at the end of the year. And my boy, Scott Salmon, if you're listening, he wasn't an Eli fan. And he was like, yo, this guy, and Eli wasn't doing the best.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, we need another quarterback. And I was like, I guess maybe because I'm an actor, I looked at the psychology of it. He's the younger brother of a generational quarterback. and a father and his father
Was an NFL quarterback.
was the number 2 pick in the draft. And again, if not for the hand he dealt,
New Orleans Saints, yeah.
you know what I mean, the Aints, he would have had a different
Yep.
path and still was great. So you have a guy who's dealing with this kind of pressure his whole life, and then the older brother goes to Tennessee. The younger brother Eli goes toward the pressure
Yeah.
to play for his father's school, right? And the first time I saw it was against Denver. They were down by 14. It might have been early second season or whatever. And he brought us back. And I was like, I told my boy, I was like, yo, with a profile like that, I was like, I guarantee you, and this is crazy that I call this. I probably never called anything like this again. I said Eli Manning will be the first quarterback to bring a team back when they need more than 3 points to win a Super Bowl in the fourth quarter. And he literally did it that year. My boy Scott called me. He was like, yo, dog, you were right. Clutch.
So, based on his pedigree, what's your prediction on Arch Manning's NFL career?
Oh, Arch,
the Texas quarterback, yeah.
I mean, like if you had to be a better man, you have to be like he's gonna be great.
Yeah.
But they say he's more like his grandpa than.
Yeah, he has some wheels.
He's got some fucking.
He runs like a 4.4, 4.5. He can run.
Wheels, bro.
He got granddaddy wheels.
So I'm happy that he stayed in school another year to
He needed another year.
Yeah, and get more of more of his uncles.
The thing I like about him, so last year, you named Quentin Evers the quarterback. He left, and the whole summer, it was like Arch Manning going basically all the hoods with his teammates, right?
Yeah.
Like, and people were like, well, he grew up in New Orleans, right? So yeah.
He's man. But Eli is my dude. That's my. I actually ended up like, yo, I was real weird. I'm not a super awkward, but oh no, I don't think I was awkward. But I did this commercial called Football Cops. It's like one of the first gigs that I got. It was like a direct TV commercial, and it was like Eli and Peyton were football cops. They were like their guns were footballs. I don't know if you remember this. And I was in that. I was in that commercial. I was like one of the thugs or whatever. And I went up to Eli and I was just like, dog, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So that's my.
And who would have guessed that Eli and Peyton would be such a great commercial people, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're awesome. Eli's my guy, man. Anybody, my boy Chris Chalk knows how to get my goat.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my friends, like if they want to see me go.
Like people say, fuck Eli. You're like, okay, motherfucker, let's fight.
Yeah. I'm just like I start taking out the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, this guy was. I saw him every day. You know what I mean? I never missed a game that he played. I was like, this guy's great.
So I know you think he deserves to get in.
100%.
Do you think he'll eventually get in?
He has. I mean, dog, this is the thing. I'm gonna say this. Okay. All right. If your life is on the line and you have to win a game, I'm always picking Eli. I don't give a fuck who it is. I saw it happen too many times. I saw what he had to work with. For me, if it's down to Aaron Rodgers and Eli Manning every day of the week, bro. Drew Brees. These are all greats. Eli Manning, bro. This guy was unbelievably clutch. Like Thomas said with Patrick Brady Jr., as Skip Bayless always says. Yeah, there's an argument there. I can also say, yo, when it came to the come to, yo, Eli came through. Because it's kind of that aw shucks thing that people talk about, but he was chill all the time. So when everybody else is like the Derek Jeter shit, when everybody else gets nervous, he's just playing at the same level. You know? So, yeah, so any of these modern quarterbacks, Ben Roethlisberger, whoever's, again, great guys that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, always Eli.
Yeah.
Like, dog, I saw him, and again, it's just like, oh, well, he had these 2 great runs, right? Well, his teams weren't good enough.
Yeah.
Right? And even that 2011 team, that team was 9-7.
Yeah.
The defense stepped up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? And what happened? They beat the 14-2, the 14-2 Falcons, right? With the MVP quarterback. Beat them, got them out of there, beat them like 23-2. Then he went to Oh, Green Bay. Oh, who did he beat? Aaron Rodgers. Then he went to San Francisco and almost got fucking killed, right? And beat them, and then beat Tom Brady Super Bowl. You can't give me another run
Yeah.
better than that. And again, it was Eli. It was on his back.
Are you pretty optimistic about the future of New York Giant football?
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
With Jim Harbaugh, I'm glad. I'm one of the few Giant fans that are glad they kept Joe Shane.
Yeah.
I think he's done a really. I think he's done. And the thing is, after a couple years, you want the general manager to. You're like, oh, you got to be good at your job. This shit is their first go round. Like, give him some time. He's got to figure this shit out.
So how is it that? So you grew up in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
So is it? So there's like all these different boroughs, right?
Uh-huh.
Is the borough you're born in determine what football team you follow as far as the Giants and Jets, or is that just totally random? How's that work?
I think usually the way it goes is usually if you're a Jets fan, you're a Mets fan. If
Okay.
you're a Giants fan, you're a Yankees fan.
Okay.
But I grew up in the '80s where the Giants were good and the Mets were good. It was before the Yankee dynasty.
Okay.
So I grew up
The '86 Mets.
exactly.
Right. Gooden, Darryl Strawberry,
That-
Keith Hernandez.
That's right. Keith Hernandez, Ray Knight, Lenny Dykstra, Kevin Mitchell, like those guys. So, so that's when I grew up. And then sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish I would have waited a couple years because I was fucking.
I still remember this Mets game in '86. Like we make this up again, where like it was bottom of the night, 2 outs, and it was Ray Knight, and Ray Knight fouled. He was like 3-2. He fouled off like 27,000 fucking times, right? And they finally walked in. They walked in and run. Like it was maybe like 27, like
Yeah.
9, 10, like
It was that was a great team, But
another one and done championship.
yeah, but
like,
it was like, and that was just
how
that,
did I win more?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that too was the '80s and just
Yeah.
the drugs and
Yeah.
and
Co-
the
what do we
partying
say?
in New York.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug, in the words of Rick James.
Yep.
Um,
Access to cocaine and beautiful women,
yeah, it was
Like
it was a
Ivana
wild time.
Holyfield used to say, it's hard to be motivated when you're sleeping in silk sheets.
Right? There is something to that. Again, in all creativity, I feel like that's a lot of times why people's first albums are their best albums.
Oh, yeah,
They've been
easily.
waiting their whole life. to
Easily,
put
they
this
pour
thing
all
on
the
wax,
pain, everything into it.
and then like, yeah, it's hard.
They're making a record in the garage,
yeah.
and next one they're making like a $20 million recording studio with champagne everywhere and,
Yes.
and girls that beck and call.
It's wild, man. Like, and that shit will kill creativity. Privilege can kill creativity. So how do you manage that?
So you put this movie out now. It's like, I know, like if you make albums, you make an album. You tour for 2 or 3 years, make another album.
Yeah,
Is that the same movie? Like you make a movie, you put it out in the market for a couple of years, go to making a movie. It's like a standard process for that.
I think it depends on just the access to funds, right? And like, because it was up to me. I mean, shit, I'd be making a movie a year, but I had to take time with this, and now I have to go out and kind of promote it and go out on the road with it and establish an audience. So yeah, I think it probably depends on the person and the time. I think.
So I know it's different, right? Music and film is different. Like music, like 4 or 5 minutes long, whatever. Supposedly Prince has an album, like a $10,000 album or 10,000 song record discovery, whatever, right? Do movie directors have something like that? Would have like a 10, 20 movies like made, like stored away somewhere for future use?
I don't think so. Just because it's so much more expensive.
Yeah.
So I think some movies get shelved, and they're just like, we're not gonna put this shit out.
Yeah.
But with any of like the big time, the Prince-worthy directors, kind of like on that level now. I think you dig all comes out.
What's a genre of movie you haven't made yet that you want to make?
So many, man. That I haven't made. I'd love to do like an action film, or I'm not a big horror guy, but I think I'd like to make like a horror film or like a suspense thriller kind of deal. Kind of want to attack all of it
Yeah.
and see, just like you were saying in your talk yesterday, right? Like just try to get a little bit better every day. Like just try to yeah, I would love to get better at that.
Can you talk some about the business side of making a movie?
In what way?
Like I'm sure like how you figure out the budget, how do you figure out to pay people? I'm sure there's taxes. I'm
yeah,
guessing they're union, like actors are union. I guess you know
yeah, you got
like
to
how do
deal
you
with
like
union stuff. You have to deal with um, probably not the best actually to run through it, but yeah, there's so many expenses when making a film, and then it's just like yeah, when you pay actors, you also have to put money in escrow,
mm-hmm,
even though you're paying them, but just in case you can't pay them,
mm-hmm,
so you have to like double pay when you're shooting a movie. Um, but then you get things like tax credits and like different states they'll offer a percentage of the money that they'll give you after the film is completed. Um, so yeah, it's when you're making an independent film, man, you're trying to get money wherever you can. But I think the mistake that a lot of filmmakers make, this might be going off a little bit, is like you're always trying to get like Hollywood money or somebody that always. And I'm just like, dude, like find a doctor or like a lawyer that's really interested, or a dentist that's really interested in the arts and hasn't gotten a chance to, you know, and or their money's good money, and they also won't get involved as much. They leave you the fuck alone and trust that you're gonna create something. And they might have some notes here or there that you can take, but
So you're going like a tour of the country with your film, right?
yeah.
Like how do you decide what cities to go to?
For me, so what we did was we've been in a couple dozen festivals, um, and my thing was like whoever wants the movie can have it.
And you have to pay to go to these festivals, like to show your movie.
Most of the times you have to pay to get there.
Okay.
You don't have to pay them. I mean, sometimes, excuse me, you'll get like you can get like a stipend.
Okay.
But yeah, so my goal the whole time was like I'm going to these festivals so that I could create relationships with people so that I could bring the movie back.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I bring the movie back, it's just about this film, and creating an experience for people, and then also trying to help that festival, you know, um, by doing a workshop
Yeah.
or something like that that kind of like is mutually beneficial because I want them to thrive. Um, so I'm not very much concerned with like the larger, quote unquote, larger festivals or the mainstream festivals because they're also not necessarily interested in the shit that I make.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm just done with that, man. My aunt Ruby said a few years back before she passed away, she kept saying over and over again, and if like you didn't know her, you would think like, oh, she's like losing it, but she was super lucid, and she just kept telling me, go where you're loved and not where you're tolerated.
Yeah.
So that's been the thing. So it's like, yeah, that's what we do, and I'm really excited about like going to smaller cities as well, smaller towns, and bringing the movie to people and just being like I care about you. I want you to see this. I want to bring this to you and for you because I made it for you.
So what's the next city you're going to?
The next city we're going to is actually Chicago as part of the American African Diaspora Independent Film Festival. We're going to be the opening night film, and it will be in association with the dinner drama and dance tour that we're doing. Um, and then from there, I believe it's Atlanta, and then um, and then for Juneteenth celebration, it'll be in Texas,
Texas, okay.
in Louisville.
Louisville, okay, Dallas area.
Yep, and then Pittsburgh.
You should do a tour of the Cowboy Stadium.
Oh, gladly. I mean, it's it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, I give Jerry that.
Yeah.
I don't ever want him to give up the team. I don't ever want him to give up control of the team.
So when you go to Chicago, what's your plan, or how do you like self promote yourself, right? Like how do you like tell people the movie is coming? Like how do you make sure like people know about it?
And this is the hardest part, right? Like just in terms of getting things out there. One, hopefully going on podcasts like this, like or like local podcasts there, trying to get in, news, radio, you know, that part of it, social media, and then my plan is to land there a couple days early, get to the barbershops, get to the beauty salons, get to the churches, and just like old school hand-to-hand combat of just being my own street team.
What's it called? I think it was called back in that guerrilla marketing.
Guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So getting like 1,000 flyers printed up,
Yeah.
hit the streets. Come, please come through.
What kind of social media are you on?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook for the
Yeah.
most part. And I was off of it for a long time, but I realized like, because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm like, I just want to be out here promoting shit all the time. It just feels super inauthentic. And I was like, if I can't find an authentic way to be on it. But recently I'm just like, yeah, I just got to spread love, man. Like if I'm spreading love, then I can do it.
Yeah, definitely. What's do you have in your mind like your next movie project? You have anything like filtering in your mind yet, or like
So many. I may have like 8 feature screenplays completed.
Mm.
So for me, like this film is trying to get out there. Like I said, establish an audience, establish the film as IP, and then hopefully get the capital from that to just stay, be independent, make the thing that I want to make.
So the last few days, I heard people use this term several times, the chitlin circuit.
Yes.
What is a chitlin circuit?
The chitlin circuit was created during like the Jim Crow era in our country. Like the 1920s, black folks got together and decided to create their own path to get their stuff seen. So whether it was music or comedy, so that's what they did. So this chitlin circuit was created just with the cooperations of many black-owned establishments across the country. So like, James Brown, Red Fox, these cats were going down, going from like a speakeasy to a theater, to a church, to a community room, just across the country. And so like this kind of pipeline was created, and they learned in that pipeline like what works, what didn't, what gets an audience excited. So it also was a kind of training ground as well. And this is how we were entertained, because the mainstream stuff, the white stuff, whatever you want to call it, wasn't available to us. So, like black folks have always done in this country, made our own way.
So what excites you every day about being a filmmaker? Like you wake up like, man, I can't wait to do this part of filmmaking.
I love building and creating, and it's the idea that you can make something that somebody, they can watch it and it could be just one moment and it can be fundamentally changed. Like the story I was telling you about my wife, like with Star Wars, it's like, no, in that moment, like she's fundamentally changed. So the idea of like, bringing people together, film is one of the only rituals that remains. Like the idea of a bunch of people getting together in a theater, the lights go off, you are making an agreement to allow your subconscious to be done to in that dark space. And you have this experience with a bunch of people. So it's like in that moment, like, yes, you could watch it at home, but in that moment of being in a theater, you're using the 150, 200 people around you's energy to supercharge whatever change needs to be made.
And then what's the part of movie make you like, man, I wish I could just automate this bullshit or have a VA do it?
I mean, so much of it, man. So much of the, not so much of it, but I would say, like, again, all the paperworky shit that we were talking about yesterday, which is starting to get automated, or any of the stuff that doesn't involve, like, the brass tacks of working on the film, like all the marketing stuff, all that shit. I'm just like, yeah, that I have to do it, but it's for the birds to me, and I have to find the way my mind works is I have to find a way to make it fun. I have to find a way to gamify it, and if and when I do that, it'll be a lot easier. I'm just not there yet.
What's a skill you don't have that you want to learn?
I'd love to learn how to play the guitar eventually. So many skills, so many things I'm interested in. Like a proper chef would be dope. Yeah. Instruments, I think. Singing, like actually, because I can't sing. That would be dope. Dancing, that'd be awesome too.
Um, what's how to put this? So we spent the last 2 days at this thing called Create Summit, right? Talk about how you became involved with that, and what was that about?
Yeah, my boy Arif, who's been my friend since we were kids, we went to high school together. Um, just a really amazing, dope individual that always cared about other people in community. He decided to create this Create Summit um, with his wife Jade and Jr. And yeah, man, I was like, yo, I'm just going to help out my boy. Like, we were all super tight in high school. High school was like really amazing, and so I'm like, yeah, my boy needs help. Like, I'm going. Um, but upon getting here, man, and meeting folks like yourself, the last 2 days, it's been like, it's like, oh, this is he did way more for me than I did for him, man. And it was just like going. I mean, the events, just the specificity of the events, a lot of stuff that again, like I really don't like about creativity, but was kind of like put right in front of my face, like, dude, you got to do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's important. So I walk out. I walked out of there being supercharged and energized, and also the kind of people that I were around, like yourself. I mean, people that are really successful and masters at what they do. It also had me look like last night when I was going to sleep. I was just like, wow, I was on this dope ass panel and talking. And I was like, Eden, you need to give yourself more credit, man. You're pretty dope too,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So there was that kind of self affirmation and validation, but it was and to know that him and his wife and Jared put that together. The thing was pretty massive to me.
Yeah. It was almost too much stuff to do.
That's what I said. But I'm like, yo, if it's gonna be one way, you rather it be that way. I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, yeah, I want to go to this joint. But then I was like, yeah, I said Jason, I'm gonna come to Jason's joint. This other thing looks super cool. Um, so yeah, it was a lot for them to put that together in 4 months. Was pretty freaking
Yeah.
amazing.
The one challenge for them is they set the bar here right. So next year they can't be here
They
right.
can't, yeah.
They gotta be up here right. So they gotta really
And if you know Arif, like I've known for the last however many decades, there's no way
Yeah.
it will be like this.
So what's something like some lessons you learned, like some takeaways from the summit, either from different panels you was on or other people you saw?
Um, Things I learned. I mean, like you really did inspire me to like. I've had an idea for
Mm-hmm.
years with a podcast. You told a funny anecdote about like you had you've helped like I believe it's 31
33 people.
33.
Yeah.
You've helped 33 people with a podcast. The first 29 were for free. You did it out of the kindness of
Yeah.
your heart. None of them got to 10, the 10th episode. And then you decided to charge people the next four, $500. And
Yeah.
if they got to their 10th episode, you would refund them their money.
Yeah.
And you're $2,000 richer now
Yeah.
because nobody did.
Yeah.
I thought that was fascinating, but it also inspired me because I was like, yeah, you've had this idea for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Just put it out there,
yeah,
right?
just do it. Just do it. And just get to at least get to episode 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something I learned. Um, just a lot of the technical stuff, the kind of like
All the background stuff, all the admin stuff.
all the
Yeah.
admin stuff, the kind of programs that you can use to kind of like simplify it for yourself. Um, Definitely some marketing stuff, how to get your stuff, out there. And again, like it's it's this thing you talked about in your in your group that I can't hear enough. That I continue to learn, which is consistency,
Yeah.
and how much consistency is a superpower. You know what I mean? And it's just like everybody talks talent, talent. All right, cool. You mentioned this yesterday too. Like whatever.
Yeah.
Most talented people are gonna quit because
Yep.
they're used to everything being easy
Being given to them. Yeah.
because they're talented. So they usually face plant when things get a little rough, which they inevitably will. So it's the people. So um, I learned that talent comes from the Latin talentum,
Mm-hmm.
which means inclination, will, desire. It says nothing about you being tapped on the head by God,
Yeah.
right? So the idea is like, yo, if you're interested in it, right? Like you were interested in this. There was no way you weren't going to figure things out
Yeah.
because you had a desire.
Yeah.
You had a will to learn this.
Yeah.
And to me, and if you pair that, and I guess maybe that's the offshoot of it, but if you pair that with consistency, like you're not gonna be stopped.
No.
You're gonna win. So I think that's a really big thing that I took from
Nice.
this weekend.
So how are you going to make sure you keep on, like, you start giving yourself more credit in the future?
That's a great question, brother. I think I have to set up something like weekly during one of my meditations or something like that, or to just look at myself in the mirror and I do a lot of affirmations. I have like a Tony Robbins-ish kind of hour power thing that I do in the morning, and maybe it's just instead of always kind of pushing out into the future, maybe it is more like present reflection. Like, dog, like you did that. Like we had a screening today, and people were moved by it. Not everybody has to be moved, but like, yo, people were moved by that. That was worth me working on my film for 3 years. Right? That was worth me being, for me personally, for being up for 3 days, literally 72 hours or however long it was, like trying to get the thing finished and starting to hallucinate and shit. Right? Like that's worth it. Like you did win film festivals that you dreamed about when you were working for the Board of Ed and going to lunch.
So you do the movie, from your point of view, what makes it a success, right? It's like because you finish it and internally you felt, oh, man, I made a great movie, or is it because you see people moved by it, or because the dollar bills come in, it makes a lot of money? Like what makes, in your mind, what makes a successful project?
I think that if anybody who knows how hard it is to make a movie, I think it's like part of it is just finishing it is pretty wild, and it's something to pat yourself on the back about. But it also is like the way people respond to a thing, and to have screened this a few dozen times, and to have a very, you kind of know what the reaction is going to be because it's happened so many times. I don't know if that answers the question, but I can say like that's a rewarding feeling. Like even to come into this space today, I wasn't nervous. I was excited to share it because I know like people really love it, and not everybody's gonna love it, which of course we're humans. So I'm not crazy enough to believe that, but again, that's just like it's the best.
So I know I keep using music as an example because that's pretty much all I know. But in music, someone makes a song or whatever. I think this thing called publishing, all this kind of different thing, a lot of ways where musicians make music and they get ripped off, called publishing, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
How's that work in movies? Like you're making movies, is like publishing for the movies where you might get ripped off for it, or is like the movie's yours regardless?
Yeah, I mean, at least with the screenplay, you have like the WGA, like the Writers Guild, or you can copyright things. But people are always stealing shit, man, and they always get away with shit, So I think I can't even really think about that a lot of the time, because a lot of times people will be like, "Don't share your idea." I'm like, okay, you're right, but like also I have to make this thing, and I do have to tell this person this idea because it helps me make the thing. So those are the ways you usually protect yourself. Is like, at least with the screenplay, is like getting it clear with the WGA and copywriting it.
Do you ever get writer block, creator block? If you do, how do you deal with it?
It's wild. Maybe I did when I was younger, not anymore. My man, and maybe I was doing this already, but I think he clarified it to me. My boy's a great writer, Matt McLaughlin. He was talking about this idea that he's always working on something. So like if he's working on this thing and it's not going that well, he'll go to this other thing that he's working on. And because he can't get through on this one, working on this one's super easy because it's almost like I don't have to deal with the pressure of that. I'm
Mhm.
just gonna write this thing over here.
Yeah.
And so if you have 5 or 6 things in the pot, anytime you kind of stuck on one thing,
Yeah.
you work on the other thing, and as you're working on it,
I work the same way.
yeah,
I work the
it's
same way.
work on it because you're not working on that thing. So yeah, it's working on multiple things at the same time. I think really prevents writer's block. And also, man, I'm not precious with it like I was when I was a younger dude, man. Like I said it a few times this weekend or this week. I was like, the thing for me is like I'm trying to write something bad, right? Like that helps me. That helps take away
Mhm.
the pressure of being great.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, that first draft is the clay.
Yeah.
It's not the fin. And a
Yeah.
lot of times we don't think about it in the
People think the first whatever has to be like the perfect.
exactly. And it's like a sculptor cannot sculpt without clay or without marble.
Yeah.
So you're finishing this thing thinking that it's the sculpture, and it's not. You just have the clay.
Yeah.
The real craft is in the editing.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
agree.
real. Yeah, that's the real craft. It's just like, I guess the talent or whatever can be the clay, right? Like a cool idea, whatever. But the real craftsmanship, man, it's just like, oh shit, I took a little bit off there. Fuck. How do I fix this? Oh, I got to take a little off here.
Yeah.
Right? It's that for me.
So at the summit, I'm sure you met a lot of cool people, great people,
I
right?
definitely did.
Like, name off some people that you want to try to follow up with.
With yourself, with Shima. I feel bad like naming. I don't want to be. I met a bunch of just like. I met a bunch of like film commissioners. I met a bunch of people who run theaters. Um, who want to help me understand how to how to organize a nonprofit. There was so many
Yeah, definitely.
kinds of people, bro.
I was intrigued by the one guy, like 70,
D was another one
that,
who
that
was
70,
awesome.
that 76-year-old dude, like
Oh, the leather.
Live streams on Twitch every day for 3 hours. That was fascinating.
Fascinating. It reminded me of the guy you talked about that was trying to teach himself the
Yeah,
guitar,
that's
right?
He's 70 years old. Teach myself to code at 70
Code.
years old.
Sorry, it was coding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, God, there was a whole bunch of wild, great stuff going on, and like really awesome, accessible people.
Yeah. Usually people attend this kind of stuff are like really good people. They're accessible. Like I'm sure there's probably one or two jackasses that came, there's always like,
there's always,
but most people like try to give value, try to, do whatever,
Yeah. So, is there anybody for you?
Oh man. Actually, I kind of already met him. That one lady, Avery, who has the art gallery right on the corner here.
You saw it today, yeah.
Yeah, saw her today. Yeah. I got that lady, Tyler, the crochet. She's coming on the podcast.
Oh,
D
was awesome.
Me and D clicked for some reason, right?
Yeah, she's awesome though.
Yeah.
She had great talk.
Yeah. This one is if you go to a networking event, try to go early, right? Because I went there, it started Thursday, started at 9 o'clock, right? But I got there at 8 in the morning, went upstairs, right? And me and D walked at the same time, and just hit it off, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, cats like that, man, that I look forward to helping them in any way that I can. And yeah, man, it was dope.
Definitely was. So what's harder, actually writing the script, or is it harder like figuring out the camera angles? Like what's the hardest part of doing it? Or any of those parts?
I think it's all equally rewarding and challenging. And I enjoy doing all of it.
Like I'm sure you know before we start a podcast, I probably changed the camera like 20,000 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't imagine like how many times you change, like you do a scene. Oh shit, let's do the camera angle again, or let's do this or do that.
Dude, I mean, like just the editing. Like I took the film apart and put it back together like 3 separate times over 2 years.
Yeah.
So, and then the last iteration of it, my boy Frank, who's an amazing editor, he came on as a consultant, and eventually I was like, dude, like I don't care what you say, like I'm gonna give you editing credit on this, because we were moving things around.
Yeah.
There are parts in the film like that scene where the door gets slammed in my face. It was completely we like that was created in the editing room.
Yeah.
I like because I was like, oh, I'm missing a scene.
Yeah.
So I had to take stuff from other scenes and piece it together.
Yeah.
You know, so that shit's hard, but it's also crazy fun because you're trying to like solve a problem.
So I'm gonna presume that you don't have like Monday, Friday, 9 to 5 schedule, right?
No.
What is your regular schedule, or is it that shit crazy every day?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just trying to figure out all this stuff with this film, so it's pretty intense. Just like trying to figure out, okay, like we're gonna screen it here, like trying to get people on the phone, follow up with emails, figure out like the cost of things and where the money is gonna come from. So yeah, it's pretty wild, and then like hopping on planes, and which I'm not complaining about at all. So it's a lot of that.
And then how do you take care of yourself, either mentally, physically, spiritually? How do you make sure you take care of yourself with all the stuff you're doing?
Well, I try to do my hour of power in the morning, which is a combination, meditation, exercise, walking out in nature, doing incantations, which is basically like, just talking awesomely about yourself and what you're going to do. And
people don't realize how powerful that can be, right?
dude, it's like, like when you're a kid and you take a test on kind of like, what's that test called when you're figuring out the correct way to write, to spell words?
I don't know. I want to say phonics.
Yeah,
but
I'm saying it's a spelling test.
Yeah.
That's when you think about it, you're learning how to write words properly, and it's called a spell.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like it's hiding in plain sight. So it's like, we put spells on ourselves every day.
Yeah.
So like, why not try to, there are all of these things from your life that you think are you, right? Like these thoughts about what a piece of shit you are, and it's like.
And then your mind goes down this dark path of like self-hate,
of course, man,
self-loathing.
And it's like, that's not your voice.
No.
You didn't say
and it's been proven that's not your voice. It's been proven. Like
yeah.
It's like something out there in consciousness or whatever.
Or it could just be, your uncle who said some dumb shit one day.
Yeah.
Or your teacher, like you were saying earlier, that told you, that there's a line in the film where like one of the characters says, our teacher said that I'd never amount to anything.
Yeah.
I had a teacher say that to me. So it's all those things, and it's just like, you don't control that narrative. It's in your head, and you think it's you, but it's like, no, these are the remnants of people in your life or other energies that are coming. So like, why not try to control that narrative and say like, okay, this is happening, whatever, but I'm gonna start saying this shit now, and I'm gonna say it with so much power and so much enthusiasm and so much emotion that eventually, when I'm at rest and I'm at stasis, the thought that comes to my mind is, yo, you have creative genius. You're fucking awesome.
You make a good point, right? I think a lot of us like a lot of us have bad days, bad news, whatever stuff happens. You might get a bill come in or something happen or a promotion, and like at that moment, that day, like, man, my life sucks. Like, how do I handle this? But just give it some time, right? The next day, it's like, oh shit, you know what? Maybe I didn't get a promotion. I get an opportunity to do this thing over here, right? Or maybe this didn't happen for me. I think always like time, like kind of like gives you time to decompress. Okay, like maybe, okay, you know what? It wasn't so bad.
100%. And it's like
But in that moment, you're like, oh fuck, my life's over. I didn't get the job. I didn't do this.
And in that moment, because you feel that way and your body's going through that trauma,
and the body puts a pressure on you.
Exactly. So you are. That's exactly what's happening to you. But the next day you don't feel that way. But it's the same body.
Yeah.
Which is wild. It's just like one of my homegirls, P. I was talking to her one day. And we just talk about the idea of like, you looking yourself in the mirror one day, and you're like, oh, all right, you look pretty good. And then the next day you're like, man, you look like ass. And it's like, you're looking at the same thing. It's what's going on between your ears and in your heart. Yeah. That's changing your point of view.
Yeah, definitely. What's some of the movie you made? Well, first of all, why the title?
The title was really like, as I was writing it, the the song kept coming on the radio
Okay.
randomly.
That's a New Edition song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I was like, listen, I'm just gonna open myself up
Like
for
the
spirit.
universe is trying to tell you
And
something.
so I wrote it there as like a placeholder.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was cutting the last scene of the
Mhm.
movie, I put that song there. And I was like, no, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's the name of the movie. Um, and it is. I mean, it is about that. Like, can when you think about grief and all that stuff and relationships with people, like, can you stand it? Like, can you stand the rain? Because it's coming.
So making this movie, what did you learn about grief? Like, what did you learn about, or what did you already know about how different people grieve differently? What did you learn about that?
I learned so much. I mean, a lot of, and it was interesting, right? Because it was like I was also, you know, grieving my brother, and then in the editing process, you know, grieving my mom. I think I knew it unconsciously, like I wrote it that way, but I do think the understanding, I'm like, oh, my mom is here. I just have to learn how to speak her language now. So she shows up, and it's little things like if you look at my socks right now, that you can see that they, well, you can't see it because the camera's up here, but like I have on like animal print socks because of my mom's funeral. She wanted everybody to wear animal print with bright colors. So usually at these events, like to chill me out, there'll always be like somebody in the front row with like a leopard printed scarf or something, and then I'll be like, thank you. Or even today, there was a brother who came, who literally just came. He paid money for the ticket because he wanted to support.
Yeah.
He was you remember this brother?
Yeah, I know. He's my fraternity brother.
Oh, get out of
Yeah.
here. So this
A big Kundi.
yeah, so we had this amazing conversation, and he was talking about we were talking about grief, and he had on this Sergio Tacchini jumpsuit,
Yeah.
which is wild because like in Brooklyn in the 80s, like Sergio Tacchini was like a big designer, and I'm looking at him, and he said he was 55,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, my brother would have been 55
Yeah.
this year, and I'm talking to him. He's got like he's got the same vibe. Like he grew up in Seattle, but he's felt very. He could have been.
He definitely has a New York City, Brooklyn
Yeah,
vibe.
he easily could have been from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And then, so I learned that, and then he starts telling me the story about his brother and how his brother was out of the closet in the 80s, and all the things that his brother went through.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, he was like, but you know, I feel like he winks to me once in a while. And we started talking about that. There were so many elements that he talked about that were very specific to the film that I was like, oh, Sean's talking to me right now. He's saying what's up. He's saying everything's going to be good. So that, the understanding, like a deeper understanding. And then the other thing that happened was after my mom passed, she always wanted to go to Egypt. So we went to Egypt that September. And so there were some rewrites that I did. It was a scene that I shot just about the idea of like trying to reframe like death in Western culture. Because for us, we're too smart for our own good, right? We're so smart that we're dumb. And we're just like, we know everything, so you die and that's it. It's like I'm in Egypt and I'm looking at things that are thousands of years old, and they have a very different understanding of what that is, and like the idea of transitioning to a different.
So suppose someone is in junior high school, whatever, and they're like, man, like they're kind of interested in being in film or acting or something like that as a career. What would you tell them?
Interested in film or acting as a career? What I'm telling them, like, yo, it's possible. You know, it's gonna be really fucking hard, and you're gonna want to quit. You know, I mean, fucking a week and a half. I think last week I was just like, fuck. I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could do this, Jason. I was like, but you do it, and you understand that it's part of the process. You know, so I would tell them that it is possible. It will be hard. It's supposed to be hard. It makes part of what makes your life worth it, that it's hard. You don't want it to be easy. You don't. You really don't, like, in the moment you do, but like you actually don't want it to be easy.
What's that thing they say? Don't make my path easier, but make me a stronger man, or something like that.
Yeah, and I think that that's what happens, right? Like, yeah, who wants to watch? And this is the thing, like, who wants to watch a movie where the protagonist, the lead of the film, has an amazing life?
Yeah.
In the first act, and in the second act, their life gets even more amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And in the third act, can you believe it? It's even more amazing than they ever thought was
Yeah.
possible. That shit, nobody will watch that shit
Mm-hmm.
because we all understand, like, to your point, the bigger the obstacle, the better and bigger person I have to become, or I have to. I don't like saying become as much as I like saying, like, shedding the shit, just shedding more shit so that I could live more in what I am.
And that's why Spider-Man's been so popular through all these years, right? His story, you know.
I mean, all of these. I mean, that's the other thing too, man. With a lot of these where the superhero movies go wrong is when they make it about the superhero.
Yeah.
For me, it's always about the villain.
Yeah.
Your story will only be as good as the obstacle.
Yep.
Right? So when you have like a three-headed dog in the Hulk movie, nobody's fucking with that.
No.
Because it's like, what the fuck is this? But when you insert Thanos,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, oh shit, this is dope. Or the Joker,
Yep.
and it's like, oh, this movie's worth it. Because of the villain, and a lot of times the villain is just a reflection of some version of yourself, right? Some part of yourself that you have to defeat.
I wish I wish sometimes the villains would win more in movies.
You're also the person that wants to see Darth Vader go ham for
yeah.
5 years.
Yeah, no, right, yeah.
There's a pattern. No, I hear
It's too predictable sometimes, you know.
yeah. Or, like, I mean, that was what was cool about the Empire Strikes Back, right? Like the idea that shit just got dark.
Yeah.
But I do think, I mean, I'm a person that really believes in my own palette. I just believe there's so much darkness in the world.
Mm.
And I think that human beings, like, we've been really lucky as Americans to not have bloodshed on our land.
I mean, there's no missiles coming in, you know.
So
there's no, you know, like.
But that's why I think a lot of dark shit, like, you know, like, you think about like an indie movie, and it's like, oh, somebody's gonna die in the end with a needle in their arm. You know what I mean? Or somebody's gonna get their head blown off because life fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, the person who made that movie, your life doesn't suck like that, bro.
No.
Right? But you have so much privilege that as a human being, we're wired to feel pain, that you have to create something so that you feel, as opposed to now where we've been through a pandemic, right? There's all kinds of just what humanity's going through, that you're like, oh, you know, there should be, I could deal with a happy ending
Yeah.
now and again, because life's actually, like, going around the world and, like, being in Kenya and Kibera, which is like the second largest slum in the world, like, those people are fucking laughing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of means, they're finding time to laugh. They're not waking up in the morning every day being like, oh, my life is horrible. I think these people don't take their lives.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
And also, this is not an indictment of anybody dealing with any kind of mental health stuff at all.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about our culture,
Yeah.
where, like, I always go back to this because Frank Capra, who made It's a Wonderful Life, one of the great directors, you know, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, whatever. There was this great doc on HBO. I forgot what it's called. The Four That Left or Came Back. I forget, but it was talking about this group of directors that had to go during World War II to shoot propaganda videos for the government. And Frank Capra was one of those. I think he was in, like, Dachau or something like that, and had to film like 100,000 like dead bodies, and came home and said, I will never make another piece of art without hope, without you know, without a happy ending, for lack of a better term, again. And it's like he came back home and he made one film under his production company called Liberty Films, and it was called It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah. When I was stationed in Germany, we did tour Dachau one time, And man, even like 50 years later, you still smell the death. You can still
It was
smell the.
it was
You
crazy.
can still smell the evil. Like it's just man,
That's how
horrific.
that's how
It's so horrific,
that
man.
that's how I felt when I
That's
went to
that. That's
Auschwitz.
that fucking that. I can't remember.
can't.
One of those talks I went to. You just.
It was crazy.
And like man, this is like 40, 50 years ago, and
Dude.
it's like you could sense the evil, you could sense the
100%.
death.
100%. But and again, the wild shit about that, I remember being there, and my wife was about to get in a fight with somebody
Mm.
because they had a fucking selfie stick,
Get the fuck out of here.
and they were taking smiling pictures with their family as there were shoes from babies
So
in the
fucking
plexiglass wall behind them,
So
and
fucking
fucking ponytails and shit, bro.
Like I believe in the humans, but sometimes humans fucking suck.
Of course, man. That's just it, I believe in humanity. I believe we'll get it right. Hopefully, eventually. I don't know in my lifetime, but I just don't believe in hurting people. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck who you are,
Yeah.
and that's how I was raised.
I don't know. Sometimes people need to be punched in the face, though.
I do.
I'm from believer a lot of people you can tell they didn't get punched in the face growing up, and
That's
they
why
need
we
it.
fuck, dude. That's why we fuck with each other.
Mhm.
I say that all the time.
Mhm.
Where I'm just like, oh, you talk like that because, like, when people start talking about violence and things being violence that aren't actually violence, it's just like, oh, you don't know.
No.
You don't know.
You got these Twitter fingers, as they
Dude,
say.
you don't know what it's like to like go home and not know somebody's gonna take your sneakers
Yeah.
or slice you in the face or fuck you up for no reason.
Yep.
You don't know, or actually get punched.
Yep.
Like you have no idea, because if you did, you wouldn't do what you. Sorry, if you did that, you wouldn't do what you do.
Yep. I agree.
You would treat people with fucking respect, because, and that's also another thing about, like, I think the difference. Like when I go to LA sometimes, and I'm like, wow, they move a little different out here, and I think that's part of it, because like you have cars and shit. Y'all drive it, like you don't know what it's like to like walk down the street.
Yeah.
Outside of like like LA.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying.
I know
Like,
what you're talking about,
not that.
Yeah.
But like people who are in the arts and stuff like that, you're just like, yo, man, like
Totally different.
don't talk to me like
And my thing is like,
grown man.
this dude might be 5'5", 100 pounds, but he might be fucking Muay Thai master or fucking UFC, whatever, you
Sure.
know. You always see all the time, like in a football stadium, a dude starts yelling at someone else. And I kind of like, he must have no idea who the fuck he's talking to. Like world champion, welterweight, UFC fighter.
Leave him alone. That's the thing. That's why I don't want. Maybe it's a coping mechanism or a defense mechanism. I don't want beef with nobody.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to fight. I'm incredibly scared and terrified to fight. So if I'm at that point
Yeah.
where I am there, that's because I'm willing to find out. Because
And
I'm
plus,
in
you
the
never
corner.
know what somebody went through that day. You know,
Yeah,
the breaking
exactly.
point. You know, like,
Dude, I'm like, good. I don't want man. Like,
yeah.
but again, like that's the reaction of somebody I think that understands. Like, I know real violence. I know people who've been stabbed. I know multiple people who died from gun violence. Like,
Yeah. Like I grew up with some like very bad people, like some evil people, like no goodness in their heart, right? Yeah. So you were born in Brooklyn.
just
How many years did you live there? Your whole life.
yeah, minus like 8 years that my wife and I lived in the city.
So, if I was to go to Brooklyn and you were my tour guide for 3 days,
Yes.
what would you have me do?
What would I have you do if we were a tour guide for 3 days? I mean, I'd take you to all take you to the Brooklyn Museum and the Brooklyn Public Library, and I probably would take you to the neighborhoods and try to get you the best food that I know in that neighborhood. It's not like it once was. Because I always say that Brooklyn, in a way, was beautifully segregated because you could go and find any kind of authentic food from a culture. It's kind of wild saying that. But we still did kind of like come into different territories. Definitely got to get you some good, like really good Caribbean food in Flatbush, where I'm from. Get you some great pizza.
Yeah.
Come on. Get you the staples.
Yeah.
Get you a dirty water dog just because you got me a hot dog here. And then like, yeah, man, take you to the tourist spots. Yeah, but we would go to some not tourist spots too. And I'm trying to think when my boy Vitas is here from Vienna and my other friends when they come out of the state country. Yeah.
So, talking about hot dogs, talk real fast about your experience with the Seattle hot dog.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think New York takes an L on that one.
Yeah.
I think we take few L's. We'll take an L on the hot dog. Hot dog with cream cheese. Never thought about that combination. And I put cream cheese on a lot of stuff. Like, that was pretty fucking perfect, man.
And there was like onions or something, or like
yeah, they had the sauteed onions. Yeah. They weren't red onions like a lot of you, but
and you put ketchup on it also, I think.
I put ketchup on it. I put a little mustard. I put a little honey mustard.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Which is never really an option when you go to the hot dog stand. Yeah. It was a more robust, hot dog. It was more expensive as well. Yeah. But it felt like I'm satiated. Yeah. It felt like a meal. Yeah. It was like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah, it definitely fills you up. Yeah.
Yeah, he toasted the bun on the joint. He split the dog. Yeah. I felt I am a fan of. I'm a fan of cream cheese on hot. I didn't know it was a thing until you took me there a couple hours ago. So, I'm big on it. Cool. I will come back and get another one.
So, is there anything I should have asked you that I haven't asked you, or anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, I feel like we covered a lot, man. I just want to encourage everybody who's listening to just dream big, go hard. Know that I try to think of the universe like a parent with no baggage. Mm. Like the idea of like, if you have an idea in your head for something that you want to make manifest, desire comes from the Latin decidere, which means of the Father, of the Mother, of the stars. So if something is put into you individually, you can make that happen. God, the universe, not trying to play a trick on you. Your limiting self-beliefs are trying to play a trick on you. It's like, there's something out there. And I think that that's why, when Luke Skywalker is sitting there and he's a fucking farm boy and he's looking out into the galaxy, I think that resonates with so many of us, and that hero's journey resonates with so many of us because we're all meant to be heroes. We're all, and so many of us are just like the co-star in our own life, or like, the background actor in our own life. And it's begging you, like the universe is calling you and saying, yeah, there is something else out there for you to make happen. And I need you to make it happen so that this world can be better. So that's what I want people to know, man. I want people to know that dreams are real. That's why I'm out here on this tour. That's why I left the Board of Education. It was a job that I loved. We don't need to get into it, but when one of my students was killed in a drive-by, Latina Peanut Bilbro, it's my baby. I promised her in her casket that I would make this happen, and just all my kids who I was always telling every day, like, dreams are real, but they didn't have any real examples of it. So it's like, yeah, dog, go out and be the fucking example to your community that, like, yeah, I made this happen. Gandhi style, like, be the change you want to see in the world, man. That's what I'm about. And I believe, man, and I've done it. I believe.
Man, it's been great meeting you the last couple of days.
Same here.
Thanks for being on the podcast. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jason. This is awesome, man. What time is it, bro?
1 a.m.
That's dope.
And to our listeners, thank you for your time as well.